Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode of Odd Shape Panel. It's not every day you get to see me in a tie, but I'm not completely dressed up. It's all right though. I'm Tom Bennis.
Barrett.
And welcome to our Valentine's-esque episode of Odd Shape Panel. We're here to discuss different couples or dream couples in pop culture. Quick shout outs to everyone in the chat. Hello, Corey, Dub, Austin, Delisha, Eric, Ashley, and Joe, Billy, Cal.
Dub?
I said Dub, didn't I?
I don't know.
I think I did. Well, Dub twice then. Nolan.
Sorry if we missed you.
Yeah, I think we got everybody. Digital and Dice.
There you go.
Mark and Lady Crass. Hello. So as you can see, we have a lot of people to get through. So I think we should just.
Well, real quick, I wanted to say I did the championship of fan friction yesterday. I did not take home the belt like I wanted to, but definitely next time. I just wanted to thank all of you guys who were so kind on Twitter, showing me love and support. I really appreciate it. You're all awesome, and even though I didn't win, I still feel like a winner because of you guys. So thank you very much for that. And that's it. Let's start the show.
It was a lot of fun reading all the tweets. One more quick shout out to our good friend Morgan who just joined us. So thank you. I like being called Dapper. I don't know what kind of knot this is. So it's all right. So first on the list, I think we have Nolan, who's in Cyprus currently. So we're trying to get everyone who needs to sleep in quick. So we'll do that. I'll call Nolan right now. I hope everyone got a chance to look at the questions. If not, we can refresh you.
Yeah, no, and I just want to say that I'm excited. I'm a hopeless romantic, and I am a sucker for like good couples in shows and movies and comics. So I'm really excited to talk about a lot of my favorite characters. And we just got attacked by Moriarty.
But he looks good in a crown.
He does. It's my dude.
I like how we stayed there all day and we're doing nothing.
You gotta like lean
it against the wall. Domino effect without nothing.
Yeah. He'll be falling again shortly.
We don't have any of our. We have all these nice couples set up for you guys to look at. There we go. Don't mind my close-up face.
Oh, it looks like Nolan's coming in.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello, Nolan. Welcome. So real quick, anyone who's not familiar with what we do here, this show runs from about 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is not the main show. What we do is we take the best parts and pretty much take out all of the long pauses and technical difficulties.
Add some clips.
Yeah.
Add an intro.
We make it shiny for Tough Channel. And if you're interested in any of the other Tough content, all the most recent stuff from Tough is down in the description, including the fight that Kimber was talking about.
For sure. And if you don't know the show, we're going to be having everybody who wants to come in calling us in on the chat here, and we're going to ask them some questions and answer the same questions and basically just have a cool discussion about the subject this week.
Yeah, pretty simple questions like, what's your social security number? But Nolan doesn't have one. Oh, Nolan was saying his cat may make an appearance.
He has to talk and then they can see him.
He's right here.
What's your cat's name?
His name's Pinky. And no, I didn't do him.
His name's Pancake?
Pinky.
Pinky?
Yeah.
Are you the brain?
Yes, and he's getting very annoyed right now, so I'm just going to let him go do his thing.
See, our cat gets annoyed when we don't hold her. Hello, Janine. Man, everyone's coming out of the woodwork. It's great tonight. So thanks for joining us. If you're not talking in the chat, please do so. And
yeah, everyone's friendly. They won't bite.
Well,
Except for maybe Dub.
Dub might get you, but he's playful, so it's all right. So let's get right to it. Nolan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty great. I thought I'd be needing coffee to stay up for this, but me and Morgan have just been chatting on Hangouts for like the past 2-3 hours.
Nice, that's teamwork.
Yeah.
Yes, we've wasted, well, not wasted because it's time well spent, but we have let some hours go by with Morgan. We know how it
They
is.
fly by with Morgan.
Yes.
He's real easy to talk to.
Oh, Morgan's getting feisty in the chat.
Uh-oh. It's late for him.
All right, well,
All
what do we got up first?
So, Nolan, who's your favorite couple in pop culture?
Right. Well, I wanted to pick one where you see them start as a friendship first, then blossom into a relationship, then eventual marriage. It's from a show from the 90s that I've been catching up on because I never saw it as a kid, and that's Corey and Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Yes, a big yes.
They are just like, they're one of the most adorable couples I've ever seen in TV, and to see them blossom from sort of frenemies to become husband and wife by the time Girl Meets World comes out, you relate to it a lot more than I think you would a couple that's already been pre-established.
That relationship on that show is second best to Mr. Feeney, because Mr. Feeney is just the coolest dude in the world. But
I agree with that.
yeah, he's like one of my favorite. Like if we did a teachers episode of OSP, I would definitely be talking about Mr. Feeney. And I had like a family friend, like kind of like an older uncle whose last name was Feeney. So like I always had like a good relationship with the Feeney name. But Corey and Topanga, man, I think the most memorable seasons are like the 1 or 2 that they're not together. Like I was saying, like my favorite Halloween TV episode is the weird one where they weren't together, so it caused all this trauma. Like that definitely was, it set a standard for me when I was younger.
Yeah, and they're also like, a lot of people bring this up, but I think they were one of the first interracial couples from TV.
Corey and Topanga, they're both white.
Isn't Topanga like a mixed race? She seems like that.
Maybe. She's got weird features, but
She looks white to me.
she looks super white to me. She looks Wonder Bread white. Topanga
I thought she
sounds
was
like
brown.
something a white person would name their kid. Come on, Apple.
What was your choice for that one?
I'm like, it's really hard to settle. Like if it was like 12-year-old me, I would probably be like Mary Jane Watson and Spider-Man, because that seemed like the perfect relationship. But now that like history has depicted him, like she's dating Iron Man right now. It's weird. So spoilers, maybe, I guess. I don't know. I think I have a special part of me with Spike and Buffy from Buffy. Here's the all right. A lot of people think her and Angel are supposed to be together, and blah blah blah, and that's nice. The thing is, like, all right, Angel was a super bad dude. He got cursed by someone, a witch, and then he had to like have a soul. So he was like, I have a struggle. Spike went and like did trials and earned a soul. Like he didn't have it like just gifted to him. Like he did that, and he went crazy over it. And I'm probably nerding out a little bit, so I'll let Kimber talk.
Yeah, mine are also from TV. I have 2 of them because it's really hard for me to narrow it down. But I chose one couple that, much like Nolan, we got to see their relationship develop from strangers to people who didn't necessarily get along to being like my favorite couple ever, one of them in TV, and that's Leslie Knope and Ben Wyatt from Parks and Rec. I love them. They are the cutest thing ever. And you get to know Leslie so well before you meet Ben. And I think that everybody just kind of like, when you saw them begin to interact with each other and how he is with her and stuff, like they're just made for each other fully. Like they're perfect for each other. I couldn't see them with any other characters. Everyone else she was involved with was so wrong for her. But Ben is like adorable and perfect, and they're a great couple.
I love Parks and Rec so much.
Yeah. Can we take a moment too to shout out Rory and Amy Pond?
Yes.
Because
I will say that like Amy is beautiful and I love to look at her, but her character is not as wonderful as Rory. Rory is the reason that Rory and Amy are awesome. And they go through a lot, but Rory's a beautiful character. He's Like they asked, we were talking in the OSP chat the other day, and they were like, "Oh, who out of pop culture would you want to date?" And I picked Rory.
I don't like Rory now.
You
My
like
other
Rory.
couple, what was that?
I think, I don't know, maybe it's the beard and the sideburns, but he looks a bit like Rory.
Oh, he says you look like Rory.
I just don't have the ponytail. To
Yeah.
be fair, we only had that for one episode, but still.
The other couple that I went with was definitely established as a couple before the show started, but I think that's kind of a part of their charm. They have only been with each other. They have been together for a decade, basically, by the time the show is going on, and that is Marshall Erickson and Lily Aldrin from How I Met Your Mother. Again, just a couple that is very well suited for each other. I would say they have a little bit more differences than Ben and Leslie do, but they really balance each other out nicely. Marshall is the most adorable dude on the show. You guys know I love Jason Segel, and Marshall is a huge part of the reason why I love Jason Segel. And Lily, like, she's not a perfect character, but he truly accepts who she is, and they've overcome a lot of obstacles. They had one of the most memorable weddings on a show of all time. I really love those characters. They're great together.
You do see them get established in like prequel episodes, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that it's cool because while they're already established, I mean, if you haven't seen the show, I'm sorry, you get to see them kind of start over, or maybe pick up back off where they were. I don't know, either or. But like you said, the flashback episodes from like when he first met her and like Ted's point of view too, so you like an outside perspective.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And they have like a lot of they make a lot of shout outs to old stuff that happened, because you get even flashbacks before she was with Marshall, when she was with Scooter. And then you get to see like them meeting and having their college life together with basically Ted there the entire time, so the audience is there the entire time.
the ultimate third wheel.
Yeah, you get to explore it in a way you don't get a lot of couples over the 9 seasons that show had. It's really cool.
Also, Ted's a liar, so.
Yeah,
you know.
Ted's not as good as all the other characters surrounding him, but everybody knows that.
Real quick shout out to a bunch of people who just came in. TJ Dex. We also have, Caitlin, Austin's friend.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe. I see Joe in there now.
Nice. Hey, guys.
All right.
So our second question is actually one that you sent us. And that's basically, who's your favorite couple that never, or pair that never coupled up officially on a show? Like, who's your favorite couple that never was in a show or a movie or a comic?
Well, this was from the first way that I got onto OSP. It's from Harry Potter. I've always thought this when I was reading the books and watching the movies. Harry Potter and Luna Lovegood should have ended up together by the end, because they have such great chemistry together. They bring out the best in each other, and I think Harry always works best when he's around stranger, larger-than-life characters. And Ginny's great. Ginny's fine, but I would have bought it more if he ended up with Luna at the end and not Ginny. Ginny could have gone with Neville or something like that, but and Luna's just so goddamn adorable.
I agree with you. I really like those two as a pairing, and I kind of subscribe to the whole Ginny gave Harry Potter a love potion theory. Yeah, because it doesn't really make sense. And Rowling even's like, no, like Hermione should have at least like been with Harry. So I don't know. Anything's possible.
I feel like Ron and Hermione brought out the best in each other, though, so I can buy them as a couple.
Yeah. I'd like Hermione and, oh my god, what's his name? He's the other chosen one. Neville. I think that would be fun.
Just ship Neville with everybody.
But, well,
I'm going to go ahead and
man.
ship Luna with Hermione, just saying.
There you go, too.
I
think my pick is probably Batman and the Joker, because it's a relationship. Like they should make it Facebook official at this point, because one doesn't exist without the other. Joker is the Harley Quinn in that relationship.
I've never heard it put that way before, but that's
Not really.
that's
Like maybe like a twisted mirror version. Maybe that's how the Joker sees himself being treated.
well,
We're
Heath
gonna get
Ledger was in
super deep.
Brokeback Mountain, and yeah,
Who knows? What about you? What's your?
I have two, of course. I have a TV one and a movie, and very similarly to your choice, I'm going to have to pick Sherlock Holmes and James Moriarty on Sherlock.
I knew that was coming.
Yes, everyone knew that was coming, but it has to be said, the sexual tension between those two characters is palpable when you watch that show. There are a lot of people who ship John Watson with Sherlock, and I see it, but to me, what Moriarty and Sherlock have is on such a deeper, weirder level.
It's almost
Yeah, they
the
need
same.
each other.
Batman and the Joker, yeah.
They like crave what is the next person going to do next. Like even when Moriarty disappears, Sherlock is just constantly thinking about what's next from him, you know. Moriarty is a part of Sherlock from the moment that they meet each other, and it's intense, man. My other choice, let me see. Oh yeah, I remember. Edward Scissorhands and Kim. I love that movie. It's beautiful. It's sad, and they never end up together. They never even really get like a major super moment together. He literally can't touch her really, and he's at the end of the movie basically abandoned back right where he started with nothing but like his memories of her for his entire immortal life alone. It's really tragic.
You're up now.
Yeah, it's really tragic when you think about it. It leaves you, that movie leaves you on like a high note because you get it from the perspective of Winona Ryder, who just gets to have these nice memories and move on and have children and a normal life. But for Edward, it's so sad. Like he had this moment where he got to feel so much, and then he's just left there with nothing but the memories of this very short time that he spent in the real world with Kim.
Scissorhands is my favorite Tim Burton movie.
Yes, me too.
I got her on vinyl for Christmas, and
Yeah, the
it was a good buy.
Yeah, that movie's beautiful.
I gotta ask Tom a question on his though. With Batman
What's
and Joker, do you ship Ben Affleck's Batman and Jared Leto's Joker?
No, not at all. I'm gonna rule 34 it. Animated series all the way. I want some Kevin Conroy on Mark Hamill action.
I want to respond to the chat here. I see TJ saying, was Edward anatomically correct though? They didn't really say in the movie. We don't know how finished he was,
anyway.
but it's the same thing
Just change it up.
It's the same thing that I say about Missandei and Grey Worm on the show, is that he still has a mouth.
Lemonade. Or is it iced tea?
It's lemon.
It's lemonade. Oh, man. All right. What's next?
Big Fish is a really good Tim Burton movie.
Yes, I made the promo code.
Yes, it did. Speaking of Big Fish, which has a wonderful romantic gesture in that movie, what's your favorite romantic gesture in pop culture?
Mine's a bit more of a recent one, but it's one that's... here's the thing about a romantic gesture is it's got to be something that you just do to make the person happy without expecting to get something out of it. And for me, that's when Gus from The Fault in Our Stars gives up his only wish to make Hazel Grace happy and meet her hero. And he doesn't do it out of trying to get anything from her. He just wants to make her happy. Makes the end of it all the more tragic when she does meet her hero and he turns out to be a massive asshole.
Yeah, that shit's hilarious to me in that movie. I actually really like that movie. I made Tom watch it and everything. But that's the funniest part to me, that Willem Dafoe stuff. Favorite romantic gesture?
I'm going to save mine. I'm going to save mine for Billy.
Oh.
Billy's going to know what I'm talking about. Maybe Cal. I don't know. Whoever. Fight about it in the chat.
Mine is the song that Adam Sandler sings to Drew Barrymore at the end of The Wedding Singer on the plane.
That is also great.
I think that's the best song that Adam Sandler has ever written and sang. It's terribly romantic and beautiful. I think that they're really adorable as a pairing, their characters in that movie. They definitely have chemistry, and that's why they've continued to make movies with each other. It's super sweet. I like the Billy Idol stuff. I love that movie. That's my favorite Adam Sandler movie by far. And I think that's probably the best moment from an Adam Sandler movie, in my opinion.
Yeah. A fake one I'm going to give you real quick is Iron Man blowing up all of his suits in Iron Man 3 for Pepper because it makes no goddamn sense.
Neither does love, babe.
Yeah, that's a valid argument, but
It makes sense in a shame.
that's what I'll give you for now.
Okay, so we got one more question for Nolan here before we let him sleep this evening because it is very late for him. What do you think is the best wedding that's been in a show or a movie?
You know what? That's so tough because immediately when you bring up wedding, I'm ultimately thinking of the Red Wedding, but we know that's not a great wedding. So I'm gonna have to freestyle this one a bit. I'm gonna go with the wedding of. Christ, I keep forgetting it. I think it's at the end of Freaky Friday, the Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Curtis one, because it sums up kind of everything about the movie, and it's a really cute moment, and it just leaves me with a smile on my face whenever I watch it. Those two characters sort of come together, and yeah, Freaky Friday is pretty enjoyable.
Yeah. I didn't like many Lindsay Lohan movies. It's pretty much like Mean Girls and Freaky Friday, but like that was a good way to like finally like wrap up her adversity to her new stepdad and stuff like that. Like that was a good moment. You're right. I never thought about that one. I was thinking like the couples, not like the family.
Yeah. Do you have a pick?
I'm gonna save mine again. I'm gonna pepper my answers through the like a little scavenger hunt.
This was the hardest question for me ever because I'm that girl who cries during movies and stuff. I'm a sap. Yeah, I see Janine said Jim and Pam. That one definitely came to mind. Like Rory and Amy's wedding is amazing. There's so many choices, but the one that I settled on is from kind of an obscure movie that did not do really well from a few years ago. Once again, starring Jason Segel. It's called The 5-Year Engagement. And that movie is a little long. It has an awesome cast, and it is hysterical. If you haven't seen it and you like romantic comedies, this is one that definitely anyone can enjoy. Tom watched it. We had a good time. Chris Pratt's in it. Alison Brie. Who is the lead? It's the chick who played the Full Metal bitch.
Oh,
Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plays his Emily Blunt is his love interest. There are two fantastic weddings in that movie. The first one is hysterical, and the last one is my favorite wedding scene ever in a movie. I don't want to blow it, but it's just ridiculously adorable and awesome, and just watch that movie. It's good.
If you watch that movie, you may see a familiar facial hairstyle. Just saying. All right, Nolan. Well, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate you staying up so late.
Anytime, dude. I'll always come on for this. And I'm going to try and stay up and see a couple of the other callers because I don't like going to sleep and missing the rest of the episode. So.
Well, let our voices lull you to sleep. We also double as a lullaby. Play with some music. We'll find a bard. All right, man. Well, thanks for stopping by. We're going to get Morgan in next.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Later, Nolan. I'm gonna run.
Kimber's escaping.
I'm not escaping.
She's gone forever.
I wouldn't miss Morgan's call.
Mavis, I need you to co-host. Can you do it, Mavis? For anyone who doesn't know, Mavis is our cat. She's just chilling over there. I just searched for Mavis in Google Hangouts. Nothing came up.
Raul talking about Chris Pratt singing in Spanish in the 5-year engagement.
Yeah, that's right.
It's really funny.
Morgan, I have sent you the invite. Like I said, we got a lot of people in here tonight, so we're going to try to keep it That's why I'm peppering my answers.
Why don't you tell them what
What's
they
up?
can see in the links in the description?
Oh, so up next, I'll give them a little intro. Up next, we have our good friend Morgan Robinson, also known as the Purple Dawn. He does like horror-esque podcasts and a horror house picture show. Kimber has been on it. I've been on it. Kimber has one coming up this week, right?
Yeah, I believe that'll be up this weekend.
If you want to check some of that stuff out, his latest episode with our good buddy Randall Sands is in the descript below. And Morgan's dancing in the script. He's dancing to his own accomplishments.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, guys. Let's do it. It's time that everybody loves everyone, regardless of whether you even believe in love. Because, let's face it, some of us are lacking in the belief.
Morgan, I'm like it's in my contract that I have to say love exists. Yeah, that's what I gotta say. So I have documented evidence. So we're gonna get right into the questions,
You're
Morgan.
looking pretty lonely right now, Tom.
Yeah, she's
There's only Mavis there.
I'll be right here. She's just doing something in the kitchen real quick. But I'm gonna ask you your first question, and she'll ask you the second or third one.
Okay.
We'll work it way. So Morgan, who is your favorite couple in pop culture?
Well, they've already been mentioned, but it's Jim and Pam from The Office because they are the perfect couple. From back in season 1, when Pam was with Roy, you could always tell that no couple in TV or movie history, for that matter, has developed such a relationship with simple eye movements before. As much as Jim and Pam, they just look like that, and you knew there's a connection right there. Every time from the first episode right up to the last episode, and their wedding's already been mentioned as one of the best weddings. That whole Niagara Falls boat thing as well, that's phenomenal. Jim and Pam, they are in my heart as they are in everyone else's.
Yeah, I agree. And that show like definitely tested their relationship, which was really cool. Yeah. And I loved like Jim would always find himself in like the worst situations, and he would just always like get it like and this who always helped him out. I can't remember.
Jim?
Yeah,
Dwight?
Dwight, yeah. Oh my god. I'm thinking about the bed bug scene. Where that girl's in his bed and he's like, Dwight, I have bed bugs.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Like he's such a good dude. She's such a good girl. Like it's well warranted like relationship. Like you're rooting for him the entire time.
But yeah, that's exactly why they're both such likable people. You know, like in some pop culture relationships, you sort of get one of them that's perfectly likable and the other's kind of like, I don't really care, let's just go. But they are really equally such genuinely pleasant, happy, and very, very likable people. You can't help but root for them throughout the entire run of The Office.
Yeah, we agree. We just got informed that our good buddy Cal is leaving us for the night. So good night, Cal. Have a great night.
Night, Cal.
Yeah, Pam and Jim is definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the show had like a lot of rough like times for them too. Like when he got that other bigger job and he moved away and they were separated. And yeah, like. And they really overcame a lot, and I loved where they ended with Jim and Pam on that show.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful. It's a good couple for sure.
Yes.
One of my favorites. Are we on the second one?
Yep.
So Nolan asked us, who's your favorite couple that never really became a couple? Like, who would you like to see together? Who would you like to see together?
Well, I mean, saying they never got together would suggest that the show has ended. But I'm thinking of a couple, and I'm pretty sure you know exactly who I'm thinking of right now. I'm thinking of a couple that are not currently together, but oh my god, do I want them to be together. And it's Brienne of Tarth and Tormund Giantsbane in Game of
Woo!
Thrones. Not only
Yeah,
has
they're great
Tormund
too.
got it's right, number one, Tormund's beard. That's enough there. Number two, Brienne's like the best character on the show. She is the most badass female character in television,
Yes.
bar none. They work so well for each other. I know me and you have talked about this so much, and it's the respect that Tormund obviously has for her because she's a warrior rather
Yes.
than just like an average girl. And of course, being a wildling, Tormund would, love fighting spirit more than the simple, usual girl from Game of Thrones.
Yes, I think that Tormund should not give up. I think
No, he
that
should not.
Brienne is not used to getting that sort of attention from someone. He's like genuinely just like enamored and awed by her. The way he looks at her is how anybody wants to be looked at, you know? I just think she needs a little time to possibly warm up to the idea, get to know him a little better. Because I just think that she's not used to that sort of attention at all, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not really. It's hinted at as a sort of, oh, Tormund's got a thing for her, but it's not like made a big deal of. But then Brienne will just give like a really sort of, oh God, no, I can't, I don't want to deal with this sort of look. But it's just that's another one that those two are in my heart. Whether they end up together or don't, but God, do I really want them to, because that's just going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, you're certainly not alone in that. There are some people who have a problem with that because she seems disinterested in stuff right now. But
I know some people
harassing her. I just think that he doesn't know how to react in any other way when he sees her, you know?
And keep in mind, he's a free folk, so he's being very restrained.
Yeah, he's being very polite for a wildling.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people say Brienne and Jaime Lannister, but I don't see it. I mean, yeah, they're pleasant to each other to an extent, but I can't see that happening. And of course, I wouldn't. We're talking about Game of Thrones, so I've got to bring up Jorah. Jorah Mormont, Daenerys. Let's just cure the man and make it happen.
Well, I'm going to disagree, and I'm going to say that Yara and Dany are the pairing I would like to see.
Yeah, another perfectly acceptable and wonderful couple that would be to see. But we all the friend-zoned ones of us always have a soft spot for Jorah. As weird as the age gap might be for some people, which is perfectly acceptable.
Corey Williams in the chat says he actually thinks it's cool that Brienne and Jaime are just friends without romance.
That's how I always saw it. I saw it as like they respect each other a lot. Yeah. Like they really earned each other's respect, and he respects her as a peer and a knight, and as a person who has their honor, because Jaime's big struggle is that he broke his honor to become the Kingslayer, even though what he was doing could be seen as the right thing. I think he did the right thing, killing somebody who was mercilessly burning people to death and stuff. Even though Jaime's kind of an ass sometimes, I feel like he was doing that from a good place and has tortured himself forever about how everybody just sees him as an honorless man. So when he meets somebody like Brienne, who is completely a good character and does everything that she believes is right and good, he has a lot of respect for that. He, I think, admires that and wishes that he could be that person, because he's not,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, question 3. Do you have a favorite romantic gesture from TV or film?
I do, and again, this show's already been mentioned. It's from How I Met Your Mother. It's the original Blue French Horn business. Not the whole finale business, but the real early season 1 blue French horn after Ted meets Robin for the first time in McLaren's. Takes her on that date, sits right on the table underneath the weird, or air quotes, Smurf penis.
Smurf penis, yeah.
As nicely puts it. Goes back, tells her he loves her, which is a ridiculous thing to do, as we all know. But then goes back later in the night, steals the blue French horn, and holds it like a trophy up, and is promptly invited inside. It's you know, for like the first episode of a show, that's like really sort of, it gets you. Like, you've not learned anything about these characters yet, really, but the sort of, you get who Ted Mosby is immediately from the first episode. That's why I think that's a great one.
Yeah, a few things I want to say about that. One, it's nice because that's the first story you get from Ted where he makes a romantic gesture, and that's before you're like desensitized and a little like burnt out by the fact that Ted does that shit for everybody. So it's really impactful in the story. And two, they have a lot of episodes later that call back to that story and give you further like light on how the events went on that story, with the re-return episode. And the episode with he does the "I would have stolen an orchestra for you" speech.
Yes,
I love
that as
He
well.
hires like a quartet with blue instruments at a certain point.
Yeah,
That's another. I don't know. The show clearly likes blue brass instruments.
They like color coding. Like his relationships are color coded. Robin is blue, and the mother is yellow. Pay attention.
Yeah,
Pay attention.
that's
There.
Yeah, you've got your brain switched
Like,
on today.
like Tupperware. He has them all contained in a color.
Okay, one more question tonight, Morgan, from you before we let you plug your show one more time and get on with the rest of your evening. But what do you think is the best wedding that they've had in a show or movie?
Well, I mean, you might be expecting me to say the Red Wedding because of that phenomenal watch we had a couple of weeks ago. Because yes, it's taken me that long to watch the goddamn show that is Game of Thrones. But it wouldn't be me on OSP if I didn't bring up It's Always Sunny and the Maureen Ponderosa wedding massacre, where everyone takes bath salts and turns into zombies.
We were watching some bloopers from How I Met, or no, oh my god,
From It's Always Sunny.
and oh my god, Charlie Day's hilarious.
Oh god, well, I mean, it's almost sort of fun horror.
Yeah.
Almost. But it's just, I mean, firstly, they're not even supposed to be there in the first place. Dennis just wants to go just to make sure that his ex-wife is getting remarried. That's the only reason he's there in the first place. Then everything starts going completely wrong because of these bath salts. Everyone turns into a zombie and starts biting each other. So, and then the police arrive, or the police think that the gang are responsible for this. And in typical It's Always Sunny fashion, every single thing that could possibly go wrong just goes wrong. And I don't know, it's a pretty unorthodox pick for best wedding, I think. But you know, It's Always Sunny and zombies.
I think that could be an alternative title for the show. Everything that goes wrong goes wrong.
I wanted to say real quick while we still have Morgan that we recently watched a few of the more eventful episodes of Game of Thrones with Morgan, and we did watch the Red Wedding with him, and it was so funny to watch his response because he was so appalled and traumatized by it all. And I don't think 5 minutes went by on any of the episodes that we watched with him where he didn't give out a bloody hell or he takes
Oh, a lot of facial expressions and a lot of Jesus Christ. And a lot of
That too.
I have a video of it.
just a
It's
lot.
mine, my personal treasure. It's in my vault of him reacting.
Oh yeah. He
There you
did
go.
take a video.
Pretty good.
But I honestly, I don't know how I managed to survive spoilers for the Red Wedding for this long.
Spoiler alert for anyone. Well, we didn't really say what
We
I
happened.
didn't say anything. Nobody said anything.
Yeah, we're good about that.
We tried. But we were talking about how that episode is kind of like funny horror. I think that's a nice time to tie in the episode that I'm going to have upcoming with Morgan on his show. You want to tell him what it's about?
Yes, this Sunday, new episode of the Horror House Podcast main show with the one, the only lovely Kimber Barrett over there, talking horror comedies, everything funny about the horror genre. And there's a lot of it. It's going to be a fun episode, you can guarantee that. Check that out at Horror House Pod on Twitter. All the links will be on that.
Yes, and like we said, Morgan's latest episode of Horror House Picture Show with Randall Sands is in the description. So, I mean, don't click on that now. Click on it later. Or subscribe, then click it, and then come back late. Whatever you want to do. But it's down there for you to check out. So, Morgan, thank you, as always, for stopping by.
Thank you for having me on, as always.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Talk
See
to
you
you soon.
later, guys. Good night.
All right. Well, up next we have Mark and Lady Crass from one of our favorite podcasts, Digital and Dice podcast. They were on our
On our video game.
table. No, they're on our
Oh,
tabletop
tabletop, yeah.
episode. And but I am working on it. I promise.
That'll be out after this one, right?
Yes, it's halfway done. I just keep getting
You
our
say
most.
our tabletop, but isn't it really Joe's tabletop?
Yeah, it's
episode?
Joe's tabletop episode. I have to get their information from my phone real quick, so please don't mind me as I'm. Nope, that is an alert from Nick's Twitch stream. So
What?
I'm in the wrong place. All right.
It is very cool that we know so many content creators and that everybody in the group is so supportive and checks out everybody's stuff. I know you did say you posted several links to what everybody's been up to in the description, right?
What's that? I'm sorry.
I said you did post a bunch of links. Of
Yeah, there's a bunch of
people's-
content creators in our description, so there should be. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing, Corey. Mark, I did just send. Oh, you see it. Never mind. You're on top of
For
it.
the new people, we do these
Weird.
live episodes
Okay, I had it right.
every 2 weeks on Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, but in order to catch up on our episodes, because I was catching up, but our X-Men the Animated Series interview with Eric and Julia, speaking of pop culture power couples,
Right.
the sweetest people ever. I've been working on that, and that's had to like get cut into like 4 separate parts. So I'm trying. So the next hangout we do will just be a Q&A and hangout. Mark, I did send you the link, and then we're gonna be doing so once a month we're gonna be filming for episodes, and then once a month we'll just be hanging out and talking about news and bunch of things. Yeah.
And then we'll be back on.
once we're on schedule, and I'm getting there. But
We're
yeah.
trying.
we also have some new content on the show too, or on the channel too.
Oh, dang.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I hear you, but I do not see you. This is like a weird ASMR thing going on.
Oh, turning the camera on.
You just hear chips.
Oh, here.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh man.
Can't refuse an offer for chips.
Camera says it's on.
Uh-oh.
Well, your camera's a liar.
Damn you, camera.
All of their answers are how to play boyfriend.
Yeah, God. Let me tell you. While they're figuring out their camera, check out their let's play of, how do you pronounce it? I
I
always
think
screw
it's
it up.
Hadoful.
Hadofo.
Hello for boyfriend.
Full boyfriend, yeah.
That took a twist and ended up breaking my heart.
Right.
It's worth the watch.
Oh
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna think about libraries differently forever. But I mean, we shouldn't harp too much. We can hear you guys, and I can always put up a picture of you folk if we have to.
We would like to see your faces if
Yeah.
possible, camera. Work with us.
Mark is a looker, so
Aw, he is a looker, ain't he?
I'm poking at my
he
camera.
does looking.
He does look it.
He has eyes for looking.
Thank you, my love.
Hadoful boyfriend getting some love in the chat.
What happened to your camera?
Logitech camera noticed me.
Oh,
Oh,
we see a broadcaster of some kind. XSplit.
I might be
Broadcast.
able to get it to work that way. Just a moment. Thanks for your patience.
As always, thank you guys for bearing with us through technical difficulties.
It happens. We do this live. Speaking of doing things live, poor Metallica. For anyone who's seen the Grammys performance,
Oh no.
Yeah, James Hetfield's mic cut out and Lady Gaga just sang the whole song, basically. It was awesome.
while we're figuring this out, we also have a link to Digital and Dice's latest project. They're doing a literal torture during Ocarina of Time, I think. Literal torture? Oh boy. Oh, there you are.
Oh, I'm here.
Hey,
I'm in the show.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Oh crap, it worked.
Literal Torture, they play video games while reading fan fiction about said characters. It is pretty
The
funny.
best fan fiction ever. The most poetic, well written.
It's so good.
It's
It's the best.
you can see the inspiration. You know,
There we go.
Ginsberg.
All right,
Ah.
let's ask them some questions. I know
Sure.
she wants to.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear us all right?
We can hear
Yes.
you, we can see you. It's the best of both worlds.
Woo! How
So,
you guys doing? It's good to see you guys.
It's good to see you too. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad we got this to work out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, speaking of power couples, right?
Speaking of power, see that? We summoned you. So let's ask, what's your favorite couple in pop culture?
Oh, you got this one, love. Go ahead.
Oh gosh, no, I have like a list of them. Okay, so going back in time, let's go to Moulin Rouge. Satine and Christian, I love them. They're like the biggest mushy couple ever. And of course, Christian has my heart, and he's all blue-eyed and innocent and sweet, and then he's constantly being crushed by Satine, and then brought back up, and I don't know, I love it. As far as cartoons go, I guess Asami and Korra from the Legends of Korra. Another heartthrobber and another like good win at the end of that series. Spoilers if anybody hasn't watched it. Whoops.
Right.
And then I guess Howard and Bernadette from The Big Bang Theory.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. You can
It's
have
not.
that.
It's not for everybody, but I don't know. It reminds me of our voiceover guy Brian and his girlfriend. His girlfriend is really smart and is a biologist, and he's a nerd that works at a bookstore.
I see the chat likes my beard. I'm totally into this. I'm just
Morgan's running as a ship of his own with his beard.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Asami Korra. Yeah, it is a yum factor. It's totally a yum
I
factor.
haven't watched a ton of Big Bang Theory, but I will say that out of all the characters on that show, I find Bernadette to easily be the most attractive.
Agreed.
She's a
It's
babe.
all the tiny curved bits.
Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah.
Now, for my part, I had to rack my brain, and there's so many couples out there, but one that I remember that I really enjoy was Michael and Charity Carpenter from the Dresden Files, for the express purpose that, like, Charity will do anything for that man, no matter what has happened to him, no matter what trouble he's in. She will run in full armor to defend him. and support him in all of
woman.
the craziness that he's doing. And that is a good couple. I mean, there is nothing that will get those two apart.
I mean, I think they have like a skull ghost as a third wheel, but
Well, yes, but don't we all?
touche. All right. Well, our buddy Nolan, you saw him first. He asked us, "Who is your favorite pair that
Ooh.
who is your favorite pair that never actually became a couple?" Why don't you read them if you're so good at it?
Oh, I
you're
saw
first.
this one float up in the chat already, but I have to agree. Mal and Inara, just hands down, of the couple that should have been that never was. And I'm a little bit on the side of, for the purposes of the show continuing, they shouldn't have gotten together while the show was going because it would have been too much closure. But it's one of those things that, you know, you wanted them to be together so badly, but it's also why some people continued watching the show, maybe because that eventuality might occur.
Yeah, it leaves us
In
that
my
fantasy
mind,
moment.
That's still, that eventuality needs to occur, and they're always teasing us, even very recently, for
Yeah.
another season of that show. And I
Yeah.
still have hopes that we'll get to see more of it, because we did not get enough. I have no closure.
I think they had
Absolutely.
more of a thing in the comics, but again, I don't know if what do you want? Fine.
I never got up into those comics, but you know, I've always wanted to pick them up.
I have a copy of the
Yeah.
role-playing game upstairs. The core book for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I ran it once. It was actually really fun. It's got its own weird
We'll make
system.
it happen.
But yeah, I mean, it has all the stats for the characters. So, you know, completely, you know, on our own, we could make it happen.
We're both.
I like how we're having dual beard strokings.
Nice.
Mine's at least a little longer than yours. What do you think?
I got one.
Did they both say theirs, or?
I don't know. I think
Yeah,
do I
yeah,
hear
we-
one in?
Wait,
Oh,
what was yours? What was yours?
right, mine. So Amanda Connor is one of my favorite comic book artists, and she did a wonderful rendition of Harley Quinn and Power Girl, and I just want to make them kiss, like every day. I mean, like Harley wants it anyways.
Yes.
So, I mean, I know they technically they canon the whole Harley Quinn with Poison Ivy scenario, and that was super cool. But I've always had that big, powerful chick with like goofy weirdo, maybe because that's mostly how my relationships worked out. So, you know.
I loved the Harley Quinn version of the Power Girl outfit.
And
Yes.
It's so cute. Like, I would cosplay that. It's super adorable. I like
that.
comics a lot with them teamed up. It was really, really adorable, and I would recommend it if you guys have not checked it out.
Thanks to that run, we learned that not normal clothing can contain Power Girl's bust. So
It's true.
Right.
It's true.
a lot of facts and good information.
What's happening?
I'm adjusting a mouse. I'm muting the YouTube. There we go. Aha. That's better.
Do you guys have a favorite romantic gesture that was made in pop culture?
Oh, we agreed on this one.
Yeah, totally agreed. It would be Scott Pilgrim battling all of the evil exes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Totally.
obviously, movie version.
Yeah. Well, because in the comics, he took like a several month break and just kind of ran off to deal with his own weird demons. And so the movie was, much more condensed. But yeah, there's nothing that says you want to be with someone more than just having to whoop the crap out of every person she's dated. So.
It looks like he made a little bit of pocket change on the side too. So
Right. I mean, he made out well, so.
Made out well. Yeah.
Ah.
Ooh.
I realize there's a mic behind me that makes it look all weird.
Stop him. What are you doing? You're weird.
There
what
we
you
go.
doing? You're weird.
There, Don't have that thing sticking.
All right. Well, our last question for tonight is: what is the best wedding from a show or movie?
Go for it, love.
That's how I feel about it.
All right,
I
fine.
don't have any.
I got one then. It's a little sappy, but I absolutely adored the wedding at the end of Tangled. Because, I really do like Disney movies, and I think they're fun. And those are two characters that, they went through a lot of crap. He almost died. And then, they got together at the end, and it was very pretty and awesome, and it made you feel all good inside. So, you know,
Did
that one.
they have an actual wedding? Because I thought that the wedding was a short film in like a Pixar short film.
Well, they mentioned the wedding at the end of the movie, and then they did the short film, which is like where the what was his name? The horse, Maximus,
Oh, Maximus.
and the chameleon all went off on their own crazy adventure. So, you know, but yes, that wedding was fantastic, I think.
Nice.
That was a tangled story. It was outside the regular timeline.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
What about you, Crest? Do you have anything?
Oh gosh.
Ooh, Spaceballs.
Oh yeah, there's a Spaceball. Spaceballs is funny.
Yeah. Do you? Yes. Do you?
Yes.
I do. Good. You're married. Kiss.
Another Firefly reference. Mal's wedding was hilarious.
Oh yes, Mal's wedding was good.
When he was getting married.
When you didn't know that he was.
Yeah.
No, there's so many good weddings out there and so many really terrible weddings. Again, another like good group of them would be like another Amanda Connor, because I'm a fan, would be the Black Canary and the Green Arrow. They did their whole wedding scene. I love the fact that her wedding outfit is basically just her normal outfit but white, so it's just equally as like skanky.
Nice.
True
Okay.
love.
Well, thank you so much for coming by. Do you have anything you want to plug? Anything coming up?
Oh Lord. Plugging. So, you know, for those of you who don't know us, we're the Digital and Dice podcast, or at least two of the several. We've branched out since the last time we were on your show.
We're missing 3.
Yeah.
Your mom and your sister joined, I heard.
Ooh.
Oh God. She was so brutal to me. Can you imagine? My mom sitting behind me. Why did you die? You should have dodged. It's like, Jesus, Mom. But no, it's Justin and I with the podcast, www.digitalanddice.com. You can find us on YouTube, where we have all our Let's Plays. Actually, it's a good opportunity. Our RSS feed is about to hit its maximum for the 100 episodes. So the earliest episodes are going to start getting cut off that feed. But as I mentioned to everyone here, you can watch those old episodes. On our YouTube, where they're going to stay, and everything's fine there. So they're not gone forever, and I believe iTunes is still going to have them. But the old episodes are going to be off the RSS feed. So keep an eye on that.
Also tomorrow, or even this evening, we're doing a Hotafo Valentine's Day. And we're plugging out a new series of episodes for Hotafo.
We did another 4 episodes worth of Hotafo Boyfriend and went after the best of birds.
I'll give you a hint.
Ooh.
Because Oko-san is the bird for me.
Hopefully he won't break your heart.
Oh, it's epic.
Oh.
It's absolutely epic. I recommend.
Delightful.
Yeah, so those start tomorrow. So tune in to the podcast, the YouTube, if you want to see those. And thank you to everyone in the chat there who has subscribed. We really appreciate that. We are so close to 100 subscribers, which is going to get us over that hump where we can actually name our channel
We'll have
URL.
a name.
So
Everybody help them out. Sub to these guys. Their stuff is great. We watch them all the time. Would recommend. Help them out.
Yeah.
yay!
While we're at it, subscribe to us too.
Absolutely, and we've spread the word, and we'll keep spreading the word. You guys are doing a great job, and we appreciate you having us on the show.
Totally.
You guys, we love your stuff.
Yay!
Thank you so much for coming on. We'll see you guys soon.
Talk to you soon,
Thanks,
guys.
Thank you.
We'll see ya.
Eject.
Well,
that
more
was
savage
fun.
than his mom. Jeez. Billy would be up next on the list,
All right, Billy, you ready?
followed by Eric, Ashley, and Joe. Austin, if he wants to come in.
Yeah, and if we don't read your name and you want to call in, let us know in the chat.
Yeah, I have
So-
Eric, Ashley, and Joe, Austin, Janine, TJ, Caitlin, Raul, Chase, and Randall on the list. If you guys don't want to call in, just let me know in the chat, and I'll take you off. And if I missed your name, definitely let me know, and I'll put you on the list.
So,
I know you have some answers to catch up with when Billy.
yeah, I want to talk to Billy.
He needs Billy.
We need some real talk about our romantic gesture. Oh no, what's happening? All right, so as you can, if you're watching this, oh hey, they at least do a live show. Cool. We also have some other content on the channel. we have the OSP show, which admittedly we're behind on because we have to get everybody together. Everyone's schedules have been a little bit crazy, but all of our patrons over at Patreon, we get together and we watch a movie. And the one episode of it we have is White Zombie with Bela Lugosi. Nice little tie-in to Morgan's picture show thing, you know. And we also have a Odd Shape Plays, which we just started our own Let's Play. Me and you know him, we love him, Randall Sands. He does that with me. So that's fun. An episode just came up today. I should have another one out tomorrow, maybe. Who knows? Hello, Billy.
Oh, hello.
I'm sorry, did I interrupt your reading?
No, you did not. As you can see, this is my study. So, yeah, you're looking pretty dapper tonight, Tom.
Thank you. You look like you should have like a little pipe with bubbles coming out.
Yeah, or shot glass with or not a shot glass, a thing of scotch and a cigar, as Nolan pointed out. As my brother Nolan pointed out. But yeah, and best facial hair, I think it's going to be me and Austin because we got the goatees going on, so yeah.
Look, when we have a best facial hair show, we will discuss this, but we're talking about romance, which
Yes, we
I
are.
think kind of ties into facial hair if you're into it. So let's find out, who is your favorite couple in pop culture, Billy?
Oh, Tom. You know that, well, everyone here should know, and if you don't, you should know that Smallville is one of my favorite shows. And just, you know, that Superman is probably my favorite character of all time. So, oh, you mean not just that?
Ooh!
And,
A little spicy for this show, Billy.
yeah, I wore the shirt on purpose, and my Superman koozie, which I carry everywhere. I will go with Clark Kent and Lois Lane, or Lois Lane and Superman, however you want to view it. And the reason for that is very simple. I'm going with the Smallville version because Nolan said it best. These two hated each other. Like, they would bicker, they would tease each other all the time, and you could not see these two together in the future because they were complete opposites. Yet throughout Smallville's run, we not only see them become great friends that respect each other in almost every way and support each other, such as like Clark encouraging Lois to become a reporter, but they fall in love in a great way that was great for the Superman mythos, and it was just great to watch, and it did not feel forced. And the will they won't they relationship, the other one, as I like to call it, I think you know what relationship that is.
The problem is we as Superman fans know that Clark is going to end up with Lois. So at a certain point, you're watching Smallville, and you're like, all right, Lana, just go home, do what you got to do, cry about it with your new short hair and kryptonite powers. Just go away. Like, and just let Lois be a thing. But it was like, Lois is dating the Green Arrow. All right, that's going to last. Like, that was the one thing. But it was cool to see how much of Clark Kent is because of Lois Lane. The only reason he became a reporter, which, yeah, he dabbled in it because his friend Chloe was doing it in high school, but the only reason he worked for the Daily Planet is because of Lois. Like, it's a lot of his character. She coached him on how to be a bumbling fool. Like, there's a lot of it. So that's why I like their relationship.
Yep.
Question 2 is, excuse me, who is your favorite pair that never actually became a couple?
Okay, this was very hard because I could actually literally pick Smallville for every answer if I wanted to, but I decided to branch out a little bit, and I decided to go with Logan and Gene. I call him Logan because that is his name, goddammit. And You know what? I loved those two so much just because he was like a wounded animal that just needed somebody to love, and Jean was like the most loving, and she really legitimately cared about him, which made it all the more sad that she ended up with Scott. And Scott was just like, he was the Boy Scout in the worst way, and I can say that because I am a Boy Scout and Eagle Scout. Yeah, that is an achievement that I worked very hard for. But yeah, just they aren't meant to be for whatever reason. And you know, Scott and Jean's love, I guess I can appreciate some aspects of it. Some. I'm playing devil's advocate, Kimber. I know you're just going, which I totally understand. I don't like it either. But you know, yeah. Wolverine and Jean Grey. I mean, it goes into the early seasons. Like, I think Wolverine's like, they were like talking or something. I think it's after they lost Morph in like the first few episodes, and then Jean's like, "It's not your fault," and we need you, we, or you, or something, or it's like something like that. And of course, there's
the wedding where Jean and Scott are getting married, but while this is going on, Wolverine is in a tux fighting Cyclops, like a robot Cyclops in the danger room because he's just so pissed off.
I was with Wolverine. I was like, you go, Logan. You show that pretty boy who's boss. And
his suit doesn't have a healing factor. He does, and he still has to go see the at the reception room. You know what I mean?
It's like, that is such salt in the wound. He has to see the woman he loves marry a friend of his, and a good friend at that. Yeah, well, they mutually respected each other in the end, and I don't know. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate, which I love to do. So, yeah.
And it was your dick. That's what I was Cyclops. I agree with you, kind of. No. But if you want to hear more about the Wolverine Jean Grey shipping, we actually talked about it to the writers of the X-Men the Animated Series. It's our most recent X-Men episode, and it's in the description.
Nice.
So, man, I got all the bases covered.
Now I know this was a question that you wanted to talk
This
to
is,
Billy
all right. Now, Kimber kind of made fun of me about this, and we're going to go through the reasons why. But Smallville.
I did make fun of you about that.
Slow your roll.
Women.
Smallville. Okay. When Clark tells Lana his secret, and not the, oh, Lana figures it out, but then hits her head and forgets, or some other random ass crap happens, which I guess a random crap thing happens later anyway, but still. So he goes and he's like, all right, Lana, here's a Fortress of Solitude, and Lana's like, where am I? And he just picks her up and he jumps up to a little cliff, and she's like, what the hell's going on? And he's like, check out this piece of coal. And he grabs a piece of coal and he crushes it, and it becomes a perfectly cut. This is where she got me.
It's like a perfectly faceted cut.
No, it's not faceted yet. It's cut to be faceted. And she was like, okay, because she just watched him pressurize coal into diamond. Then she takes a gold band, slips it on her finger, puts the diamond on the band, and then uses his heat vision to fasten the diamond
somehow
onto
not
the gold.
injuring her finger.
He's Superman. And
Yeah.
and I mean, and he proposes. Now it doesn't end well, but I think that is a cool way to propose using your powers instead of just being like Spider-Man and hey, Mary Jane, check out this giant web I made. You want to lay here for a while for no reason? Spider-Man.
Oh, I know what episode that is. That is the 100th episode, which I believe is called Reckoning. And yeah, it doesn't end well for Jonathan Kent either. Spoiler alert. And that made me cry, which, I mean, I've seen it millions of times before, but, still, I really do like that gesture.
We did a practice fight for fan friction, and we were testing out the new rules, and it was what was the best use of time travel, what show uses time travel the best, and I used that for my example for Smallville, and I won. because I was like Legion, like all these different things. Justice League of America, or Justice Society, I think it was. But
Kimber looks so disinterested.
People are also hating in the chat, so thank you, Corey,
I can't
for
read.
seeing where I'm coming from.
No, I'm seeing it too. I see it too. And you know what? It's to each their own, man. It's totally cool. It's just like
How is Batman gonna propose? Like Batarang with like a little ring?
Are you
he'd probably just scare like Vicky Vale or something, and then is just like, hey, you want to get married or something?
He's like, I deconstructed a ring out of nanobots and put it in your drink. You will get the ring in 3 days. Smoke bomb. He's out of there. Like, it's not much better.
I'd rather see a Lego Batman proposal because that Batman is cool, as well as.
I was
a
trying.
battering, Corey? Yes.
Oh, the pun game is strong with this one, and he knows how much I love puns.
He's the Punisher.
Yes, I am. Anyway, the question.
What's your favorite romantic gesture?
My favorite romantic gesture. Well, I actually had two, but there's the very famous one where I'm surprised nobody mentioned this. It's the Say Anything boombox scene where he's playing In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel out of Ionis. John Cusack is playing. He's holding up this giant boombox and it's playing In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel. It's a great song, and it's the most famous thing from that film, aside from I Gave Her My Heart and She Gave Me a Pen. That was my movie one, but my television one I actually went out of the box, and it's actually from How I Met Your Mother, and it's not the Smurf penis, although that is a very good one. Mine was, you gotta understand now, I love Barney and Robin. Like, the two of them together, the chemistry between Neil Patrick Harris and Kobe Smulders, I thought outdid anything that Josh Radnor and Kobe Smulders did, and it's not their fault. It's just because Neil Patrick Harris is awesome and he can do it. Now, it is called The Robin. Barney sets up this elaborate plan for Robin to get jealous because she hates her co-worker Patrice. I mean, to a comedic level, she hates this person named Patrice. Barney tricks her into thinking that he's going out with Patrice and is somehow going to propose, I believe. But no, it's all a ploy just so Barney can confess his love. He puts the playbook, which you don't know in How I Met Your Mother terms. The playbook is every single thing, every trick that he uses to get a woman to sleep with him, he burns it. And I thought right there, that was huge for his character. He's really growing up, and he, honest to God, loves this woman. And he proposes, I believe it was like with a shower of roses as well. But
on the rooftop, he had like a whole thing about it. It was really sweet. I'm a big Barney and Robin shipper too, which is a huge reason why I hated how that show ended. But yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about, and I feel like we could have had a whole like question that was just like, what's the best romantic gesture on How I Met Your Mother? Because they have so many good ones. Another one I wanted to shout out, which I almost picked, was the episode with Marshall and Lily where they were talking about how they had all these traditions that were kind of slipping away from them as time went on. And then like he showed up at the airport and he did like all the traditions like at the airport. He had like a band playing the New Year's song, and like they told each other what they ate for breakfast every day and stuff. And that scene is beautiful. I love some of the stuff they did on that show.
Not to mention watching Predator. I forget when it is, but they always watch Predator together.
Yeah,
that's always a great thing, and they can quote the movie. But we do not talk about that finale. It hurt me.
It hurt me too.
Like a lot, and it takes a lot for something to hurt me.
My favorite gesture from How I Met Your Mother, if we're gonna make this a question. Okay, so it's the episode where they're discovering that, or Lily and Marshall are discovering they're running out of firsts together.
Oh my gosh.
So they end up stuck in a bathroom because Ted's getting lucky on the couch.
Trying to
Close
the deal.
Yeah. And Lily really needs to pee, and
She's never peed in
It's-
front of him.
yeah,
They've been
it's-
together for 9 years at this point.
so like that part of the relationship's never been explored. So they end up doing it, and she like feels super. She ends up peeing like in front of him while he's like in the shower hiding, and he like turns it around to be like, "See, we still have a lot of firsts." And I thought that was like a nice, comforting way to make a weird situation like cute.
I love Marshall.
Yeah, he's the best.
Judge Fudge forever. I love him.
Marshmallow and
Awesome.
lily pad, man.
In the bed. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yep, marshmallow and lily pad.
Yeah, you gotta love them. I feel like it's not a complete show if we talking about couples if we don't mention them, you know?
Of course. Anyway,
Billy, one more question from you tonight. Did you have a favorite wedding?
do I have a favorite wedding? This was very tough for me because there are many great weddings. And romantic gestures and just couples in general. I just want to shout out the greatest sci-fi couple of all time. And yes, I'm saying of all time, Wash and Zoe.
Yes.
You didn't beat out Han and Leia, even though that is a very, very close second. Or very, very close, well, you know, whatever. And romantic gesture, I believe Caitlin said it in the chat. It was from 10 Things I Hate About You when he sings I Love You, Baby, which I can do, and I brought a little hat along. But that actually, I'm going to go at it again. It seems like I've only been talking about Smallville and How I Met Your Mother, but you know what? Those have the best romantic relationships for me personally. And yeah, Lily and Marshall's wedding.
Yes.
For a second, I thought you were gonna go back to Smallville and
Oh,
be
he's
like,
doing the hat because
Oh.
Marshall shaved his hair off.
Yep, Marshall looks like a Backstreet Boy because he got highlights and just.
Yeah, I don't think they saw your hat. Show them your hat again real
Oh,
quick.
my hat! Yes, I did this when I cosplayed as Clark Kent because reporter hat and everything. And now I look like a hipster, but whatever.
My dad in the chat, he's shouting out a hilarious Marshall and Lily moment when she was pissed at him, so she cooked herself pancake and bacon strip for breakfast.
That's hard.
I remember that. Yeah. It is Lily and Marshall's wedding. We knew those two were going to end up together in the end, even if the weird brief stint where Marshall and Lily broke up at one time. It was weird. We don't really talk about it as How I Met Your Mother fans. And yeah, the whole wedding was going wrong. Everything was going wrong. And they're like, you know what? Why don't we just get married here at this beautiful spot with like this big oak, some random guy with a hat and a guitar.
Didn't Barney end up officiating that wedding?
And yes, Barney did officiate the wedding.
Those vows are so good. Like, I cry face. I've seen that episode a dozen times, and if I get emotional thinking about watching that episode. It's beautiful.
Yeah, my second choice would have been also the Friends wedding, Monica and Chandler, and I would bring up this moment as well, because Joey officiates that wedding. The biggest honor for a friend is if you officiate their wedding. Like, there's no higher honor. Like, that means that you are best friends for life. And, like, even Barney, who is this ladies' man goofball, honestly. He really is a goofball. And he gets choked up a little, and they make fun of him for it. But can you really blame him? I mean, yeah, and then they go through another wedding, but knowing that Marshall and Lily finally tied the knot, that was just very satisfying. It was done in a very well-respected way, and it was also done in a funny way, which is why How I Met Your Mother was great up until the end. Well, almost the end, but still, yeah.
So, for a second, I was confused what show you picked, and I thought you did pick Smallville, and I'm like, who got married on Smallville? And I'm racking my brain, and I'm like, does he mean Chloe and Doomsday's wedding? And then you confirmed it.
First of all,
what a horrible pick.
First of all, it's Chloe and not Jimmy, as they now did, and that pissed me off because those two should have ended up together.
I almost think Clark and Chloe would have been better than Clark and Lana.
I
but
did see some of that in the chat.
Yes, I think our next guest will agree with me. Too.
Oh, I bet he will. I bet he will. We will have much discussions about that and his boy Stannis. Whereas me and Morgan will probably fight against him with our boy Jorah.
And I'll burn you all with my girl Dany. Just kidding.
You guys are so.
She is the rightful queen. The Khaleesi.
You know I love Oberyn the most, but ...
Yeah,
Stop.
we can all chat Game of Thrones, and it's wonderful.
We'll be able to do that soon because when Game of Thrones starts back up, Tom and I will be joining Cal again for season 2 of the Night's Watch, which is a Game of Thrones recap show, and we do those every week, talking about the episodes that aired. So.
And I will try to join if possible because I loved that. R.I.P. Blab.
All right. Well, Billy, thanks for stopping by. It's a pleasure as always.
Yeah, likewise.
Bye. Got him. Eric is up next, followed by Ashley and Joe. Austin, if you're still around, let me know. Janine, did you want to come in tonight? See Raul there. Also, if TJ, and Caitlin, and Chase are in the chat, if you guys want to call, let me know so I could be sure. If you don't, also let me know. Because I'll just keep asking. Youngblood!
Hey! How's it going, John? Speaking of tough and fan fiction and everything like that, like I said, check out the last fight. It's in the script. Johnny's one of the participants.
Yeah, that was my favorite fight we've done so far on the channel. I had a blast doing that. So if you haven't watched it, please do. Let us know what you think. And lots more coming for season 2.
For sure.
Can
Hi,
you
Eric.
hear me?
I can hear you.
Clear.
You are clear.
Ish.
I have a new.
Why don't you keep talking so I can hear you?
I have a new microphone and a webcam, so my setup's a little different. I hope my connection would be more stable. So you can hear me good? Good to go?
I hear you very well.
Oh, awesome. Okay, we can get into it. Kimber, I just want to point out and say real quick, you did amazing. I was super impressed, and I want you to know I was with you on the labyrinth question, on your answer of that. I was with you.
Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm sorry things didn't go my way, but next time I'll get them eventually, and I'll put that belt right here.
I have foreseen you will win that belt.
I will win it. It will happen.
So what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to show Billy this. This is what I was originally going to wear. But
Nice.
I went with red because, you know, it's Valentine's Day, but that's what I was going to wear originally.
I hear you.
Yeah, I have a red tie too.
Well, let's get right into the questions.
Absolutely.
Who's your favorite?
Who's your favorite couple in pop culture?
Okay, so there's a lot of couples I loved, but I was a huge fan of Lost. Mega fan of Lost. Besides Game of Thrones, Lost was definitely my favorite show. And the couple I was with from the beginning to the end, and I know this was a very divisive issue, but I was with Jack and Kate. I absolutely had to be from the pilot. I thought they had great chemistry, but I've never seen a love triangle as far as like on the message boards get more heated than Jack, Kate, and Sawyer got. I saw wars on the fan forum message boards where moderators had to step in. It got so bad. But in my opinion, I'm not someone that doesn't think Kate didn't have love for Sawyer. I believe she did, but I personally feel the person she truly was in love with was in fact Jack. And while I wasn't happy with what the finale ended up being, the one aspect of, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Lost, the one aspect of the finale I did like that it was Jade. together. That was the one thing I did like about it. But for me, it was I was super into Jack and Kate. I knew Matthew Fox from A Party of Five. Her, I had never seen before. I had never seen her in anything before Lost, but yeah, they had me from the pilot. But I understand it's a very divisive issue. I know a lot of people will like see me say this and flip out and say he's wrong, but that's what I thought.
Very cool.
Yeah, we don't watch Lost, so
Oh, no wonder
take
you
your word
know,
for it.
I wish Cal was here.
Yeah.
He already went to sleep. I'm sure he would be weighing in on that.
We have people weighing in on the chat. Billy says that he loved Jack and Kate, and
there we go.
got Lost all day. So
My movie pick, you might are you fans of Willow?
Willow? Yes.
Oh, Man Morgan and Sorcerer is my movie couple. I
Nice.
absolutely love them, and I'll say this thing of trivia real quick. You know the scene inside the tent when he has the dust of broken heart and everything on him?
Yes.
That was actually, because movies I love, I do listen to the commentary tracks of them. And Warwick Davis did a commentary track on the original DVD release, and he said that was actually a reshot scene. They filmed the scene first, but then when they found out that the actors had fallen in love in real life, the producers got together, directors and everyone said, let's see if we can make it even better. And they did. They reshot the scene, and because they had fallen in love in real life, it was even better. And then they used the reshot scene. So
Wow, that's crazy. I did not know that. Fans of this show will remember that I am a huge fan of Mad Mardigan.
Oh, he's my favorite knight. I think he's definitely my favorite knight.
In fact, I think in the fantasy episode we did, we used the clip from the very scene Eric talking.
I'm so sad I missed that. I wish I was around because I love fantasy so much.
Well, maybe we'll do a fantasy part 2. I'm sure we didn't cover everything.
That would be awesome. And I just want to say, Sorcerer was my first childhood crush. Just want to put that
and
out
Matt
there.
Mardigan was definitely one of mine. So
There we go.
Kind of like every other day. He's like, you remember when Mad Mardigan? And I'm like, yes.
I am also a big fan of Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday in Tombstone. He is dying that whole movie, and he's freaking so hot.
Amazing.
He's a beautiful man back in the day.
And the Doors, he was good. I mean,
Yeah, with
he did a lot of good stuff.
Full circle.
Yeah.
He was great in the movie Heat as a bad guy. He's a very good actor.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I would put mistake.
Yep, he's got some acting chops for sure.
All right, well, question 2, and I have a feeling I know the answer. Nolan Dean 27 asked us, who is your favorite pair that never actually became a couple?
I was so sure Billy was going to pick this that I had a backup. But it is in fact Clark and Chloe. So many times in the early seasons, I wanted to strangle him. I mean, look, I get it. Lana's pretty fine, but Chloe was smart. She was beautiful. She was super into him. Like, I was like, what is wrong with you? And
yeah,
he couldn't.
And I think Allison Mack is actually a really attractive actress. Like, I saw her briefly on Wilfred. She was the crazy girlfriend on Wilfred for a while. I haven't seen her do anything else. The cool thing about Chloe is it's like the opposite of Lana. Like, he was always like, I wish I could tell Lana my secret. I wish things gonna change, blah blah blah. But Chloe found out the secret, didn't let him know, and it just made me mad that they only kissed when it was either a crazy ancient parasite or a red kryptonite.
It happened in the season 5 finale. She lays one on him when she thinks she's not going to see him again, and that was really the last, I think, time. And it just broke my heart. And the scene that always broke my heart with them is when he's sick in season 2, and she reads in that letter, and she's like, "I have a secret. I'm the woman of your dreams who's masquerading around as your best friend." And he answers Lana at the end, and it's so heartbreaking. I just want to just bawl my eyes out even thinking about it. I didn't get it. I thought he should have gone for Chloe. She was right there. She was into him, but
I will say this scene with Clark and the telescope, because that's creepy that he has his telescope always pointing at Lana's farm.
That is a creepy.
Yeah, he does. Kimber just said "ew" from the other room. But what's that? And how am I supposed to do? And like that song always plays in my head when I think about Clark and Lana. I think that was like episode 1 or 2 because of the dance. But
Mhm.
yeah, I always thought at least a season they would like give it to like
Because
Clark.
like Billy says, you know Clark and Lois are endgame. You know that's the ending, but I would have loved to have seen him and Chloe at least for a little bit. It almost happened in the finale of season 1. They came close, but things happen. But yeah, but I just want to say real quick, my backup choice, assuming Billy was going to pick that, was going to be Ripley and Hicks from Aliens. I thought they had a great rapport in Aliens, a great chemistry. I know Brian he loves Alien 3. I hated Alien 3. And a lot of why I hated it, I hated that they killed Hicks off like that. It's what made me love Aliens. You love those characters, and to just kill him and Newt and take Bishop out of it, I thought was a mistake personally. But Brian would argue differently, certainly. But that was my backup.
I like that choice.
Yeah, I never really thought about them that way.
Well,
Austin is leaving the chat now, and he says he was going to have to use his backups anyway because I took all his answers. So you obviously are a man of taste, Austin. Have a good night. Get some
Have a good night, buddy.
See you next time.
Austin just did not like a think piece on The Walking Dead, and that is in our description. I am on top of it.
I indeed watched it last
hit
night.
that like button. Sorry.
I watched it last night. He was great.
Subscribe. Anyway, yeah, I'll tell you.
So do you have a favorite romantic gesture that a character has made?
Yes, and I'm going to explain this. This might not make sense, so I'll try to explain it. I'm going to say Leilu in The Fifth Element, saving the world. Now, where I'm going with this, in that scene at the I love The Fifth Element. In that scene at the end, she wasn't going to do it. She's like, what's the point of saving human life when you see what you do with it? You kill each other. But then Corbin says, there are things worth saving, love, and he has to tell her, I love you. And in return, her gesture, she saves his life and saves the world. And I think that's a pretty big romantic gesture if you see it from that point of view, saving the world and saving his life. But it took him saying, I love you. And that scene, I every time I watch it with the music that's playing, and it's just, I think it's incredible. I love that film. It was like one of the first films I remember really seeing on DVD in high definition.
Nice.
So that's my romantic gesture, I would say. But Billy mentioned Stannis. Unfortunately, I didn't have any answers to include Stannis with these questions, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, he's
Sorry,
not the
Billy.
most romantic of characters.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, I was not a fan of Selyse, so I wasn't going to pick them as a couple.
Really, Game of Thrones generally doesn't have too many romantic gestures that would be notable enough to.
I mean, you could say Dario, I guess, giving Dany a flower or something, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't a big fan of that character.
It's like, at what point is it a romantic gesture, and at which point are you just trying to bang the chick?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think he just wanted to bang her in the beginning. But then when she sent him away, I think he had real feelings by the end of it. Well, not sent him away. When she
I almost feel like the whole no scene with Khal Drogo and Dany is maybe the biggest romantic gesture, because as much of a barbarian as he was still.
In the books, it is more. In the show,
we're talking about the show.
The show was a little.
You bash my comic books. I'm gonna bash.
Let me say what I'm saying. I found the show a little more rapey in that scene than it was in the books. In the books, he got very clear consent from Daenerys before he touched her. So I think that they could have made it a little more like the books in that scene.
I agree, because even when he strips her, she covers herself up immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see her. I would agree with that. It does come off more rapey on.
Delicia's saying that Ned and Catelyn were the best couple on the show, and I could see that.
They had real love. They
Yes.
had true, real love between them. Absolutely. I can totally get down with that.
And Oberyn Martell and Ilaria Sand, that was like a cool. Like those two completely understood each other and were on the same page and were totally partners. I have a lot of respect for that relationship.
And the scene before he fights the Mountain, when she's like, "Don't leave me," and he's like, "Never."
That breaks my heart.
It's heartbreaking, yeah.
Tristan and Marcella too. They were.
Yeah, Tristan and Marcella.
I can't say anything about the book. I can't say anything.
Yeah, exactly. It feels
I can't
like
say anything about the books until Kimber is completely caught up. But Some things are different, is all I'll say. There's some different stuff. You'll see.
For sure. All right. We got one more question for Eric tonight. Did you have a favorite wedding that stood out for you?
I absolutely do, and it's a little sappy, but I'm going to have to say Jesse and Rebecca on Full House. I've seen this wedding 1,000 times growing up on syndication, and I love their relationship on Full House. I loved when they got engaged in Vegas, and in the episode, you know, he goes skydiving. They create drama that he's not going to make it on time. But for me, what sells the wedding and makes me love it is when he sings to her that beautiful song "Forever." And if I could sing, which I can't, and I was getting married, I would do something like that. And every single time I see that scene, see him sing that song, it just melts my heart. It's just so beautiful. So that's definitely a wedding that stands out for me. Definitely Full House. I've watched that show. I can't tell you how many times growing up. Syndication. Yep. So that's my wedding.
Nice. So that's like a wedding and a romantic gesture all tied into one.
Absolutely. I didn't even think of that. That is very smart. I didn't even think of that as a good call.
Way to double answer.
Good call.
How am I going to edit this?
No.
I didn't even think of that. But good call, Kimber. Good call.
You have anything to plug? Where can people talk to you?
I do Game of Thrones video reviews for my buddy's blog. You can find the link to all of them on my Twitter at mmkoch200 on Twitter. And I will be resuming all that when Game of Thrones starts up.
So wait, you're saying it's not umcock?
No. But that's the funniest version of it. Like Roxy on Screen Junkies calls me Cooch. She says Cooch, Coochie. And then you said my cock, and I'm like
both spectrum.
And to this day, the only person who ever said it right on the first try was Dan from Screen Junkies. He read one of my tweets and he said Koch. So I like it when it's said funny though. I think it's hilarious. I don't mind it at all. And little trivia, that was my handle since like 1995 when I first went on AOL. I couldn't think of anything, so MM's for my dad, Michael Monroe, and the Koch comes from, that was my mom's maiden last name before she married my dad. And
Well, that must have been rough with like Hanson, because then people were like, cock.
I would get that a lot in the AOL chat rooms. I had a lot of Hanson friends who loved Hanson.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think I'd be embarrassed to use my AOL Instant Messenger name from I think it was like a Dashboard confessional lyric, like my new diet's liquid.
I just can't break it. It's just a sentimental value to me, and it causes people a lot of amusement, so I have to keep it.
Well, right on, man.
Yep. So if I can cause
Always nice to see you, Eric.
So nice
thank
to
you
you.
again.
I'm glad my connection was definitely more clear. This is definitely how I will call in from now on, unless I'm not home. But once again, thank you so much for having me on. Love you both. You rock. Kimber, once again, you were awesome yesterday. Hold your head high.
Thank you, and thank you for so much support yesterday. You guys were all amazing, and I definitely saw you out there, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a good night, guys.
Happy Valentine's Day. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Eject. Sorry, I really like that eject button.
Ashley and Joe are up next.
Ashley and Joe, another power couple? I'm assuming I'm calling Ashley. I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to do it. Ooh, I'll take a chocolate. Mama always said.
The round ones are the ones you want. The caramel and the hard ones are chocolate.
I'm going to do the hard one.
No, go for it. You guys want some?
Hello.
How's it going, guys?
Janine, you're waiting for a couple's fan friction.
I like your guys' shirts.
Thank you.
We figured you'd appreciate it. The shirts we could not wear yesterday as we were fact checking. You know, got to be neutral.
And I wasn't here.
Oh, that's true. I forgot. It's been so long.
Life.
I
Yes.
love it. It's awesome.
Sorry, the chocolate's really good.
Oh, chocolate.
Well, of course, our show would not could be complete with another one of our favorite power couples here, Ashley and Joe of BFF and Tough fame.
Oh, thank you.
You can actually find the latest episode of BFF in the script.
Thank you.
Yes.
It's the raid. It's a backlog.
It's a great one.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I really like
Fun
it.
time.
So, how's it going, guys? You ready to answer some questions?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We've been talking about it because at first it was like the first question is very easy to find good answers for because there's a ton. It's the rest of them that we had to rack our brains for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were like discussing it yesterday, and here comes a cat. Here's Atticus.
He's so floopy.
All the cats were behaved during fan friction yesterday, except for one time, but I muted myself, so it was cool.
I did see that actually when you popped back on. But yeah, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Okay, you said the first one was easy. Who'd you come up with?
Easy-ish. I actually have 4. It was like 1, and then it evolved into others because of different facets of pop culture stuff. My first one is Lana and Archer from the show Archer. They are incredibly dysfunctional, and they're mildly abusive towards each other, but it's kind of a Archer is because of his upbringing and his trust issues and everything, and Lana is just not putting up with any of his crap. And then they at the end of the day, you can tell they really care about each other, and I'll go into that in my romantic gesture.
Ooh.
The next one is Ed and Winry from Full Metal Alchemist, because I'm a sucker for childhood friends, and Brotherhood has like my favorite incarnation of it. When Ed basically is like, hey, you want to be a couple, but he does so by like explaining an alchemical process. Like, okay, I'm going to make you a deal. I'll give you half of my life for half of yours. It's equivalent exchange. And she's just like, what?
It was really cute.
And then the 2 others I have are characters from role-playing game adventures. One is Kyra and Mariciel from Pathfinder. They're the iconic cleric and rogue, and I don't know why, they're just a really sweet couple, because Mariciel, the elven rogue, is very chaotic neutral. She's kind of a jack of all trades, roguish type who just like snarky, witty comments all the time. And Kyra is a very reserved cleric who kind of just they fall in love against all odds, and they're perfect together. It's weird. I can't explain it other than it's just they're perfect together. It's precious.
Speaking of perfect together, people are shipping you guys as a favorite couple in the chat here. Eric Kimber saying that you guys need your love story made into a film.
I think there's better ones than ours.
All the kids at school think it's really cute. We're # goals.
Apparently.
Yes.
Hell as old as time.
Oh God.
Oh, we've known each other as long as that movie's been in existence.
Yes.
My favorite couple from pop culture is Mikey and Titus from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
They're just so cute together, and I love when we first meet Mikey, and he's just trying to be the typical macho construction guy, but then by the end of that episode, he's like, I think I might, have, be gay, and I, like, do you want to go out with me? And Titus is like, no.
I'm too good for you, basically.
Yeah, like you're not ready for this. And then later when
in season 2.
Yeah, and then in season 2 when Titus like is getting rid of all of his clothes, but then people are being hipsters about it, and he's like, I can't part with all my stuff, and then Mikey's the one that bought all of the clothes.
Mikey's Tilda Swinton mural on the back of his truck.
Yes, I was about to say the same thing. He's like, I put a real hot chick on the back of my car, and it closes.
And then and Titus is totally not even like he really wants to like commit to it, but he's too scared. And Mikey's the one that's like, you know, ready to like go for it, and just to see their relationship blossom, and like, you know, Mikey like bringing Titus over to his family, and Titus thinks it's gonna be this epic throwdown of like coming out like what he would be used to, and it's just like, we're so supportive of you, bro. Like, oh my god. And it's like, I just want to yell at people.
Nice.
And they're just so sweet, and it's adorable.
Another relationship from that show that I ship is the Stoop Crone and the dude from Jinx.
Jinx?
Yeah, freaking
What's his name?
it's
Fred Armisen?
Yeah, Fred Armisen.
Fred Armisen is playing him, but he's like a parody of the character from the HBO show The Jinx.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Why there's like that burp thing throughout season 2 is a callback to him burping in the Jinx. If you've seen it, it's a really cool documentary.
Yeah.
I'll check it
I
out.
don't want to put you guys on the spot, but literally the chat is blowing up. Everybody wants to hear an old story or how you guys met. Them.
Yeah, better you guys than us.
She hated me at first.
Yes, we met at our apartment complex in the 2nd grade.
Yeah, we were like 8.
And
she thought I was someone else the first time because apparently like some kid barged their way into her house during a family get together.
yeah, my grandmother and grandfather were over, and I'm like trying to hold the door closed because someone is trying to like bust into their house like an idiot. And I associated that person with Joe, and so I didn't want to have anything to do with him because he embarrassed me in front of my whole family.
Meantime, a little later, the first time I had met her, we were at the laundromat in front of our apartment complex, and our mutual friend Stephanie like introduced me, and she just like gave me this like go to hell look, and I just was like, what did I do? I don't get it.
Yeah, so anytime anybody wanted to hang out with him, I'm like, I'm just gonna go. And then finally my friends were like, bye. I'm like, oh. And then later on a Saturday morning, you know, like we had, you know, I had watched Ninja Turtles, whatever, it's time to go play at the playground, and he was just like sitting there by himself, and I'm on the swing, he was on the slide.
Yep.
And we just started talking. It's like, oh, you're not such a bad person after all. Or I think you probably were like, why don't you like me, or whatever.
And then we ended up going and playing Nintendo.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you have Nintendo? That's so cool. What games do you have? Oh, your room is cool. You got bunk beds? You know, like typical silly, you know, things that 8-year-olds would think are cool.
I was an only child with bunk beds.
Yeah, so. And then after that, we're kind of inseparable.
Yeah.
When did you guys finally like become a couple?
8th grade.
Yeah, so you had moved away in 7th grade?
Yeah.
And we didn't talk for a little while, but then like our whole school district was doing like a Saturday tutorial for math for the state test, and like you could get extra credit for going, and you called me or like you came to my house or something.
I don't remember
like,
what it was. Yeah.
Like, hey, are you going to that thing? I heard all the schools are going. Yeah, I'll be there. And I think we sat together and did math problems.
And hung out and just talked while doing all that stuff.
And then that kind of rekindled our friendship because again we hadn't you know, it was real hard back in the like mid 90s, like if you lost touch with someone unless you like had like their phone number or were just like real into talking on the phone, which I'm not, like to keep in touch with your friends because you didn't have a car, you didn't have social media. And so that helped us rekindle our friendship. And then we just like every weekend, it was like he would come over to my house or I would go over to his house. And then you got grounded for something.
Who remembers with my family?
In the 8th grade. And one day, like I was checking the mail and there was this letter. I'm like, Joe wrote me a letter. That's weird. So I opened it and he had like poured out his soul about how much he loved me and whatever. And like, please respond. So I like ran out and told my friend Stephanie, and she like fell on the ground laughing like, I told you. And so I called her. Yeah, I called her and then like my friend Amber, and like that night they're like, are you gonna write him back or whatever? Like they spent the night at my house and I wrote him a letter, but I don't think you ever got my letter.
I never got it.
So I'm thinking there was some parental interception.
I mean, it could have been the mail. That doesn't sound like something my parents would necessarily do.
I don't know, your stepdad.
He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't go that far.
Well, You guys are adorable, and I think that we can all agree that you are hashtag goals. Everybody
Aw.
you in the chat right now.
But yeah, and then I think maybe you like went to your aunt's house and then called me because you hadn't heard back.
Yep.
And then it was like, yeah, we'll go out. And then we're like, what movie should we go see? Because that's what you go on a date is to the movies.
When you're in like junior high and you don't have the ability to like be self-mobile and like go to a coffee shop and a restaurant and go to like all these other places, you're just like.
And then you're
movies.
beholden to your parents. Like, can you take us? And so your stepdad had to take us, and of course we're like, the most romantic movie that weekend was Titanic, so naturally we picked that.
Yep.
And I kind of instantly regretted that because then his stepdad's like, I want to go see that movie too, and accompanied us on the date. We didn't sit with him.
No, he sat like 6 rows behind us.
But still, it was like, this is super awesome. Your stepdad is here. And then he was like humming the song the whole way home. And
Did you like that in the promo then?
No.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for sharing that story. That is awesome. Were we on the second question?
We are now on the second question. I
yeah, I
believe.
had some other couples, but I don't remember. My cat is covering up my notes. I know I had Beatrice and Benedict from Much Ado About Nothing on there, which is one of my favorite Shakespearean comedies.
Specifically for me, the
Kenneth Branagh
Kenneth
version.
Branagh and I can't remember her.
Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson.
Like that's a really good production. Denzel Washington and Keanu Reeves are in it.
Lego set.
Oh man, that would have been a good Lego movie. Oh man. Anyway, it's the whole play is really not supposed to be about their characters. They're really secondary characters, but like
they're like the best characters.
The whole plot really revolves about them. Like they hate each other.
They do.
And everybody knows that they're just right for each other, but they're so stubborn and opinionated. So like all the other characters come up with a plot to make them think the other one likes them. And so then they finally figure out that they actually do like each other. And it's a really cute story. And there's lots of plot twists and fun stuff because it's a comedy, but I really enjoy that story.
And that was for the first question? That was that favorite couple?
Yes.
Okay, very cool. So who are you guys' favorite pairings that never actually made it to being a couple?
I have two. My first one, everyone probably knows, and it's Gambit and Rogue.
Yeah.
Especially from the animated series, because like Rogue seemed like the only person Gambit genuinely had a lot of affection for outside of like Belladonna, but he genuinely cared about her, and it was just so crippling that they no matter how much they liked each other, they couldn't be together. Also, they're both incredibly Southern, and that spoke to me as a child to like, oh look, fairly accurately represented Southern characters on a show. That's not just the grotesque amount of stereotypes.
Yeah.
And then my second one is from the Dragon Age video game series. The Dwarven Rogue Varric and the engineer Bianca. She made his crossbow that he uses throughout the whole game. And even in Dragon Age 2, when he's a character, he talks about like, yeah, this is my crossbow, Bianca, et cetera, but he never tells the story of why. And you find out it's because she is like on the run from some merchants guild, and for them to be together would put both of them in a lot of risks and all sorts of other stuff. And she's just like, and she kind of likes Varric, but he's like hopelessly in love with her. And it's really interesting to see the character like that, because it's the first level of real vulnerability Varric's had. The rest of the time he's like this Han Solo-esque wisecracking rogue that also writes romance novels and detective novels, and also is a crime lord, and also this and also that. Varric's one of my favorite characters.
I have like a reverse answer to this question, and it's a pair that I wish never got together. And it's Nina Tucker and her dog from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh yeah. But they had a really forceful matchmaker. So
yeah, the dad approved.
Yeah, right. He was totally about that
reality. It's
not. For those that don't know, I'm the kind of trash that likes to share Shao Tucker memes. Like my favorite one is the newspaper article that says "Father brings family together."
Oh my god.
Oh man.
And for those that haven't seen Full Metal Alchemist, this is a spoiler. Shao Tucker is an alchemist that became famous for making a chimera, which is like fused animals that could talk the human language. And he did it originally by fusing an animal and his wife. And that's how he was able to pull it off.
Still not bestiality.
No, like literally made them a single being, like fused them together into a single being. So when his credentials were going to get revoked as a state alchemist and his funding removed and all sorts of stuff like that, seriously, Kat, then he basically went crazy and fused his daughter and their dog into one being, and it's terrible. It's so terrible.
They did the anime twice. They did Full Metal Alchemist. And the story, we saw that story, and I thought I would be desensitized to it the second time they approached it, and they somehow made it even worse.
It hurts so bad. Maze Hughes was more tolerable in Brotherhood. Losing Maze Hughes was more tolerable in Brotherhood, but Nina still hurt so bad.
That's true.
I'm sorry.
That's
I went off on a rant there.
You're very passionate. I have several answers as well. It was at first it was kind of hard to think of like, okay, like what would really count for this, but I really would have loved to see like at least one episode where Roy and Jen from the IT crowd went on a date. They kind of hinted at it a little in the first season in the third episode where like they have this bet about dating, and he puts on the worst ad on the internet, like a total like abusive person that like I will control you, I will tell you what to do, and she's like, oh, that'll never work, and of course he gets a response to
in like
it
3 minutes.
And so him and this girl go on a date, and then Jen is fancying this security guard at their office who's going to be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and she's pretending to know things about classical music because she just guessed like on the first one and got it right. So he thinks she's a classical music expert, and he calls her on the lifeline, and she gets the question wrong for the $1 million, and he loses all of his monies. But then they have to go on this date anyway because he asked her out on the show.
On TV.
And so they end up going to the same restaurant that Moss recommends called Masijo's. He thinks it's like I guess just like a good place for a date. Well, it's like a barbecue restaurant where people bring kids and there's clowns. So definitely not like a place for a romantic date. And there's like kids screaming everywhere. Nobody wants to be on these dates. Roy's trying to act like a total cool person with glasses. Like he's got these different like shades on, and every time the camera cuts, it's a different pair of sunglasses. Or that might have been in a different
That's when he was
scene.
trying them on.
On.
But anyway.
Yeah. He's trying to act very cool, and he can't pull it off, and the girl sees through him, and Jen and her date, it goes horrible, and then like the clown makes her date mad, so like he ends up getting into a fight, and the girl that Roy brought like ends up with him, and Roy like buys her a cab home, and you think it's gonna be this romantic moment, and then he's just like bye, and slams the door in her face, and the episode ends.
Yep.
And just and like I don't think it would have ever worked because she's such a liar, but just it was setting up for that, and I just wish they had like gone a little further with it. I think that would have been funny, but also it probably would have been too awkward because of she's their boss, so I don't think it would have worked out. I mean, yeah, she's the supervisor.
So what was your?
And then my other one, which this would have been horrible on the show, and they addressed it, was Liz Lemon and Jack Donaghy, because like he was her mentor, but I felt that there was kind of like a little bit of tension there. But again, I'm glad that they didn't go that route, because then where do you go from there, especially on our long-running American television shows where it's like they have that tension and then they finally go, okay, we have to bring the couple together, but then the network wants more episodes. It kind of makes it awkward, like where do you go from here? So like it would have been funny for like an episode or two, but I don't think it would have worked in the long term.
Yep.
I like that Ashley got in her Tina Fey love, and I got my Amy Poehler love earlier too.
Well, speaking of Amy Poehler, I almost feel the same way about Leslie Knope and Aziz Ansari's character Tom in Parks and Recreation, where they get set up, and I don't think they're good for each other at all. But it'd be so entertaining to watch the train wreck.
But there's that morbid curiosity that you're kind of like,
Like, this would be good TV. No, I'm glad they did it, but for train wreck purposes, I'm giving all the weird.
She kissed him one time to prove a point, and it caused her enough problems.
Yep.
That's cold.
So I think we're on the.
Yeah. Did you guys have a favorite romantic gesture?
I have my real one is in Futurama, Fry moving the stars to spell "I love you, Leela," with that little like gravity cannon that they had and all that stuff. That's so just. There's so many moments in that show that pull at you and just like, jeez. That's my primary one. I don't have much else to say about that because most people have probably seen it. My off the cuff one though is one I'm really proud of. It's Poe letting Finn keep his jacket.
Nice. I do about Futurama is that I was gonna bring it up if somebody else didn't, because your Panda Express ship down there I see reminded me that show has so many amazing romantic gestures and moments. Like that's gotta be like one of the most heartfelt cartoons ever made. I love the one with Leela and she uses like the stalagmites or whatever to leave the message for Fry in the restaurant and stuff. Like there are so many good ones on that show. Huh? Cavern on the Green.
The end of that series is just a big romantic gesture where they're like, well, we're basically going to be repeating time again and running through all of this together. And they're both just like, yeah, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, my romantic gesture is also from Futurama where Fry, there's an episode where he gets invaded by these parasites that make him a better person, and he's able to play the most complicated instrument on the show, the holophoner, but he gives that all up because when Layla says, I love what you've become, and like that just hurts him at his core, and he destroys all of the bugs. But then later on, like he's really trying to learn to play the holophoner so that he can play a song for her, and he makes the deal with the devil, which was the original series finale because it got canceled. The Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings, and he's able to play the beautiful opera, and there's then Leela makes a deal with the devil because she goes deaf, and it's all a part of his plan, and eventually Fry loses the ability to play the holophoner to perfection, but Leela still wants to hear how the opera ends, and so he's kind of playing the song terribly, but like with the little animations, they're like little children like animations, but it's just so beautiful because like he's playing it from his heart.
Yeah, I loved that too. That show's so good.
Yeah, and then another one that's good for their relationship is where she gets stung by the royal jelly and thinks Fry is dead, and she keeps having these dreams of him being alive, but really she is she was in like a state and he was the one telling her to wake up, and just like the play with the narrative on that episode, and the fact that even though Fry is kind of pathetic sometimes, like he means well and that they were meant to be together.
Yeah. Good choices, you guys. Last one for the night. Did you have a favorite wedding?
I do, and it took me forever to find a really good one. But mine is Bird Person and Tammy's wedding from what is so far the most recent season finale of Rick and Morty. Because it's this massive wedding, and then it goes terribly awry when I don't want to spoil it because it's still a new enough series and some people haven't seen it. But it goes terribly awry, and it's a fantastic episode, and it culminates into a lot of really big stuff going on. And just check it out if you haven't seen it. Rick and Morty is a fantastic series.
Yeah, it's a very fun show, very meta humor and H.P. Lovecraft kind of
all sorts
stuff
of
as
weird
well.
Cosmic horror fun.
Keep summer safe. That's my favorite one.
That there's one part. The only part that weirds me out about that episode is the baby or the child.
There's flies in the ice cream now. I don't understand.
I think Ashley's too.
I really going back to 30 Rock when Liz and Chris get married, because Liz Lemon is truly my spirit animal. If I was not with this person right now, I would probably like be just like her. And Chris was just like this, like he's definitely the best boyfriend that she has because he's so understanding. And actually he had a really good romantic gesture as well for the previous question, where like they go to the IKEA, and you should never go to the IKEA because like that's where fights happen. And he makes her a table out of like found wood from the park they went to and a Herman Cain poster, and then like for Valentine's Day. But their wedding, like she's trying not to make a big deal out of it, you know, because she's older, and you know they're just gonna go to the courthouse, and like she just dresses in sweats and is all schlubby. But then like she realizes that, you know, like even if it's just a courthouse wedding, like it's still your special day. So she dresses up as in her Princess Leia costume, and it's just very sweet and beautiful and just like perfect because
it's great for that show.
Yeah.
Jack in that episode really shines too.
Yep.
Yeah, Jack.
I did know and call that you were going to pick that wedding.
I'm the one who pointed it out to her.
Yeah, I couldn't remember some other ones because it's like we don't watch like too many sitcoms, so like the only wedding that like stood out of my mind was like the various ones from Friends, but they're not real memorable. It's just like they happened, like when Ross accidentally called out the wrong name at the ceremony. He said Rachel instead of the woman he was marrying. And there's like a lot of bad weddings.
The only thing I remember from the wedding was something like Chandler or Joe gave up meat for Phoebe because Phoebe was pregnant or something and she had to eat meat. And he was in like England, so he was like, oh, it's another country's cow, so they won't mind. Like, so he was eating meat again. That's the only thing I remember from my friend's wedding.
I don't know.
Nah.
And another,
I liked your choice.
Yeah, another fun one is from the same movie from earlier, Much Ado About Nothing, is Hero and Leonardo's wedding. As Hero gets shamed early on in the story by Keanu Reeves's character, who's
Don John.
Yeah, Don. Yeah, he's trying to like usurp the throne from. From Denzel Washington's character, and so he like makes it look like Hero was like walking out on Leonardo, and so then like they have to have this like fake wedding to like restore her honor, and it's like he doesn't even like want to get married to this mysterious person, but then when it's revealed that it's Hero, he's all happy because they think that she died or whatever. It's a Shakespeare thing. It gets complicated,
and it doesn't make sense.
And then, but of course, by the end of the movie, there's going to be a double wedding because Beatrice and Benedict realize they're in love. So every Shakespeare comedy has some kind of wedding and happy element to the end, unlike the tragedies where almost all the main characters are dead. So if your name is in the title of a Shakespeare play and it's a drama, a tragedy, you know, you're gonna die. You're gonna die before the end of that play.
What are you talking about? Things went perfectly well for Othello.
Of course, and you know Titus, Romeo and Juliet, which actually starts out like a comedy because Romeo is so pathetic and such a dork, and then when he meets Juliet, he's like, "I wasn't sad earlier. What are you talking about? It's my new girl."
What's do want to give a shout out to Joss Whedon's version of Much Ado About Nothing because
we still need to watch that. We're so bad. I want to see it so bad. It looks so cool.
Nathan Fillion is remarkable in his part. I think everyone does a great job. I'm horrible with names, so I can't list everyone's name.
I think Clark Gregg's in it too. Yes. And I know some of the characters they play. In the Kenneth Branagh version, Nathan Fillion plays the character that Michael Keaton played. I think the constable or the
Dogberry.
Yeah.
Yes, the ass.
Yes, I am an ass.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And
sorry for taking up so much time.
Story. And for wearing those shirts.
You are welcome.
Yeah, I got on the Tough channel on Sunday, we're gonna have our next BFF episode debut over Fight Club, which was fought on Fan Friction yesterday. So definitely, if you haven't seen the fight, check that out. And then on Sunday at the Tough Channel, hopefully in the mid-afternoon, if not in the evening, our Fight Club episode will be uploaded. So it'll be a fun one.
And I'm working on a gaming-related podcast. If the Digital and Dice folk would like to chat sometime about that, that would be fun. Our first one we plan on filming or recording sometime soon.
Well, they stepped out, but they are big fans of collaboration, and I'm sure if you tweet at them, they will get back to you.
They're super nice.
Oh yeah.
They get back to me all the time, so
Awesome.
they're super nice.
Yeah.
So the fight that they were talking about for Fight Club, that is in the script, and their most recent BFF is also in the script. Thanks again, guys. You never miss an episode. We love you both for it.
Yeah. Y'all have a great
Love
Valentine's
you guys.
Day. Happy Anna Howard Shaw Day.
Sure.
It's a 30 Rock reference.
It's a 30 Rock reference.
Anna Howard Shaw.
Oh, she thought you said Anaconda Shawl.
Shawl.
No. Oh, but that'd be awesome. Just be like, yeah.
Like Britney Spears.
Nice. All right, guys. See you soon.
All right, bye.
Eject.
We love those guys. Did he get back to you?
He did, and I'm about to send him a invite.
If Janine is still here, let me know in the chat and we'll get you in soon. Raul is also coming up, and Randall, Alicia, Mormo. If you guys are still around and want to talk, let me know.
We are running slim on time, and we will like to get everyone in. So, there's that. What are you doing? Found you. All right, John, I just sent you an invite. Mormo, we will definitely try to get you in. Speaking of Mormo, we also have a link to his review of 50 Shades Darker in the description. So if you're curious about that movie, give it a look, see what Mormo's got to say. He does a lot of varied content on his channel, and I'm sure we'll hear more about it. Let's not get too much into 50 Shades of opinion.
We're just waiting for Jonathan to get his
Hey Mavis,
invite.
can you stop cleaning yourself for 5 seconds?
Okay, cool. So I basically have right now, after Jonathan, Raul, Randall, if he's still around, question mark,
He was at work, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to call in.
Delisha, and Mormo.
So it's not that long.
No, it's not super long. He wasn't devaluing your opinion, though, Eric. Uh-oh, not seeing it.
Let me try again. If you have a let me check Twitter real quick. Maybe it's a different email.
And Ashley, you guys deserve all the love. You guys are two of the nicest people we know. You are super cool and supportive with everybody, and everybody loves watching you guys as a couple. You are definitely #goals.
Well, we're doing all right.
Yeah, they just like, that's crazy. Like
No.
For nowadays, for there to be couples
Well,
that met each other when they're
especially-
8 like that, it's
and, like-
super rare.
Like she was saying that they didn't have social media and everything like
Mhm.
that, and that's exactly how we met.
Yeah, we have the opposite story. We met on Tumblr, became friends online.
Wow, Jonathan, you read my mind. Send me that you're good. All right, so now that I think I have the correct email, I will.
You need a J in front of that. We don't.
I need a J in front of that. All right, so the invite should be in there. Thanks everyone for sticking around, even if you're not calling in. It's nice to have you guys in the chat talking along with us.
That looks like it's working. Okay.
I just have one request of you.
Go for it.
Can you just hold it horizontally?
Yes.
For editing purposes? Cool. How's it going, man?
Very good. How are you two? Happy almost Valentine's Day.
Well, by the time this episode gets out, it'll be well after Valentine's Day. But
Well, there you go.
Before, after, during, Happy Valentine's Day. Oh, I don't get one back? Thanks.
Getting, like mini reunions with people he was involved with in fights on here.
I know, right? It's weird. It's good though. Thank God for the internet.
Right.
Yeah, any minute Randall's gonna be jumping off the ropes. All right, buddy. Well, we have a few questions for you. We're gonna start off asking you, who is your favorite couple in pop culture?
That one was the only really easy one of the four. Because my favorite movie of all time is Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I am head over heels in love with Sam and Charlie's dynamic. So that almost couple, it's a couple, is definitely my favorite. I love just the selfless nature of Charlie's position in the relationship and the way that he helps Sam grow and the way they help each other grow. It's just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I definitely like the scene where because like Emma Watson's a character, right? And
Exactly.
all the steps she takes to like help him with his passion. Cool. And the same for him. Good pick. I didn't think about that movie.
It's the one where I was pretty sure no one else would pick. I also love Moulin Rouge is my favorite musical, and I love Satine and Christian. I think that they're everything about their dynamic, especially in the songs they do together, is just amazing and beautiful.
Well, it has to count for something when they make the love interest for Obi-Wan Kenobi in Clone Saga named Satine.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's nice to have Jonathan just give me his opinion on a movie, and me get to go, yeah, that's a good choice, instead of having to be at each other's.
It killed. I never want to argue against Benedict Cumberbatch ever again. It hurt my soul.
It was a good time, though.
It was a lot of fun.
I look at as I was arguing, I have my Sherlock pop toy and my Doctor Strange poster like right in front of me the entire fight, and I'm like, yep, I'm doing this.
Nice.
Well, speaking of Doctor Who and British things and people, Nolan asked us, who is your favorite pair that never actually became a couple?
For that one, okay, was John Locke already taken?
No.
You guys can repeat the answers.
No. Okay, if no one picked Watson and Sherlock, then I resent that, because that is the most beautiful couple on television today. The love and the devotion there is just perfection, and I cannot get enough of it.
Well, I don't know if you're here to see Kimber's answer, but she went in a different direction than you did.
Yes. Okay. I already know it's coming. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
I know. Yes. It's adorable. It's really cute, but yeah. Well, see, if they brought him back again, then I would definitely love it. But it's just they need to bring. I was so. I was about to say not gonna say anything else. Yeah, I was about to say not gonna say anything else. But no. Sherry Arty is a really good ship. I feel like Watson and Sherlock go back for 200 years, and Sherry Arty is a little bit more just BBC Sherlock.
And people,
I think that I would be more towards John Locke if I didn't love John Watson and his wife so much.
That's true. That's very, very true. I didn't love Mary when they first met because she got in the way of that, but at the same time, they're so perfect together. They really are.
I know. It's a shame because they split up in real life. They were a real life couple forever, and they recently split up. But they have that chemistry. You can tell that they're a real couple and that they have a lot behind it when they're doing those scenes together, for sure.
Mm-hmm. The other one I was going to go with, if John Locke was already taken, was Light and Elle in Death Note. I love their relationship there. Elle's awkwardness and Light's confidence was just adorable, and what ended up happening made me sad. I feel like Death Note's a little older, so I can hint at that.
Another one that deserves mention that no one's mentioned tonight yet is definitely Destiel. Dean and Cass from Supernatural. I can't believe they haven't come up.
Okay, I think
but,
Caitlin mentioned it.
Yeah, I did see it in the chat, but that's definitely another pretty.
A nerd show without Supernatural? That's sad. That's just, I mean, that's kind of necessary, right?
Raul hasn't been on yet, and that is his show.
There you go. There you go. I'm sure he's waiting in the back for that.
Right.
Speaking of romantic, what is your favorite romantic gesture?
I thought about this one, and I was going through Google for a little while thinking about it, and I remembered the real answer, the best answer, my favorite answer. Has someone mentioned the entire plot of Up?
What? What'd you say?
Has someone mentioned the entire plot of the movie Up, the Pixar movie? Because that is a movie based on an entire romantic gesture between what's his face and Ellie, the guy, the old man's name, can't remember. But going to the island in general is just something that he does in memory of his dead wife, and it's such a beautiful scene. And the moment where the house lands and you just see the sadness and the love, it's beautiful in a way Pixar can only do.
Yeah, the opening of that movie is heart-wrenchingly sad. It is a beautiful movie. They tell a very love story with like no words and in a montage than most movies have nowadays. Oh
yeah. Hands down. So yeah, I saw that and I was like, I've got to pick that.
For sure, good choice.
Although we're in a helium shortage, so we're running
that's
out of
why. After all of those balloons, I mean, that's got to be why.
That's why.
Laugh now, but when we're out of helium. Best wedding from a show or a movie?
Has anyone mentioned the marriage scene from Princess Bride? Because
no, surprisingly, they have not.
Because that is the best. That is the best wedding of all time. That marriage is what brings us together today. Scene is just Princess Bride for my family is like our go-to movie. So if we're together for the holidays, we just start spouting out Princess Bride lines, and so that's every time where I think of a wedding scene in a movie, that comes to mind just right away.
It's a good one for sure. I love that movie.
I almost picked that as my romantic gesture movie. Just the fact, like him coming back, like becoming a pirate to get back. And then the whole reveal with that "As You Wish" rolling down the hill.
I mean, I feel like I should pick The Crow, but but that might just hit a little too close to home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could come back playing guitar better than I did before. That's how it seems. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, John.
Thank you for having me on. This has been fun to watch again. You guys are awesome.
If you think John's a charismatic guy, definitely check out The Fight. Again, links in the description.
Watch The Fight.
Join his group on Facebook. Can you drop the name of that group one more time?
Yeah, it's called Movie Talk by Movie Fans. It's super fun. We hang out. We talk about movies. We argue a lot. It's great.
I was a little salty though. Someone posted that like the only people who like A Clockwork Orange are teenage boys and people who saw it. Like I was so out by that post that I didn't even respond. That movie is amazing, and how dare you?
I can't vouch for some of the more pretentious, up their own butts members of our group. But besides them, everybody else is really cool.
She was ready.
I was like, movie fight me, bro. I got so.
He was ready to get a knife for the old and out and out.
Well, feel free to fight because some people need to get shouted down a little bit more.
Nice, buddy. Well, thank you so much, and I hope we see you soon.
It's good to see you guys again. Have a good night and happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
You too. Later, John.
Bye.
All right. Up next, is Janine calling? Is that what
I have not heard back from Janine,
Janine,
so we're gonna go to Randall is not available right
Right.
now. So Delisha. Oh, Raul, that's what it is. Yeah.
Raul
Let
is
me
next.
fix this list. It's Raul. He's gonna come and tell us how Supernatural is his show. He said in the chat.
Well, we are sponsored by the CW.
Yes, Raul, carry on, my wayward son.
No black joke. Bow, bow, bow. Where's Mormo on the list?
Mormo is after Delisha.
Hey guys,
Hey, buddy.
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
You too.
Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's Day.
As we call it in Mexico, Day of Love and Friendship.
Oh, I like that.
That's more inclusive or not exclusive, right? What am I
Inclusive
trying-
was the right word.
Yeah. All right. Whatever. What do I know? So, I have a question for you, Raul. Who is your favorite couple in pop culture?
Favorite couple. That's a really hard one because I'm between Rachel and Ross from Friends and from what is the other one? I had it in my head thinking for hours and I forgot. But like Rachel and Ross is a beautiful example because I still remember when I discovered Friends back in 2000. I was in Mexico and the channel called Sony marathon all of the first 4 seasons in the summer. And then I really like Rachel and Ross' story, how it began. Like one of my favorite episodes is when Rachel finds a tape when the Rachel get his date wasn't coming yet, and then Ross gets ready to go with her, and then the other guy arrives, and then Ross is crying and sad because he didn't go with Rachel, and then Rachel finally accepts Ross in that moment in season 2. And there's a lot of stuff between Rachel and Ross throughout the whole series. I think it's one of the better love stories, even though How I Met Your Mother is more romantic, but the first one that I always remember is Rachel and Ross in TV shows.
Nice. I liked Paul Rudd and Phoebe.
Oh yeah, that's another good couple.
Phoebe had all the best voices.
I liked because his family was rich, and I liked when she was like, "Oh, do you know what's funny? This house has 18 bathrooms, and I threw up in the closet."
No, I also like the other guy, the Russian, the guy who went from Russia. The voice of, I forgot he does a lot of voices in The Simpsons. Hank Azaria, I just remember. Yeah, I like him before Paul Rudd came along because I noticed that his character was very different in those seasons when he came back. So before Paul Rudd, I like that guy, but then Paul Rudd took my heart. So he was the right one for Phoebe.
Well, who is your favorite pair that never actually became a couple?
First, this is all because of my sister, because she introduced me to Tumblr like 4 years ago. I didn't know there's sisters on Tumblr. First, then that's with the place where I discovered all the Pretty Little Liars fan theories about A. And then my sister told me about Distill. And then I saw the show completely differently because since like 3 or 4 years ago, since I moved back here to Brownsville, always in TNT, I always get to see a lot of times the repeat viewings of Supernatural. And since I know about Distill, I now notice that every single bit. And I can notice that, like, how the showrunners like to play with all of the fans of Distill, like really hinting a lot, like season 10, I think, or season 9, when they end, and then I forgot the name of the guy that pretends to be God, the guy with the nerdy guy. This is called the Secretary of God.
Chuck?
No, the other one, the old one, that pretended to be God for a day. What?
Metatron?
Yeah, that
Booger?
one. Metatron. I was going to say that guy from Reverse of the Nurse. I just remember it. And then when Metatron says, all of these things that you've done only for a human, and then says Dean Winchester is dead, and you can see the face of Castiel, and how everything is between those two. And also, I'm not gonna give spoilers from season 12 right now, but Castiel did some beautiful thing for Dean and Sam. I was like, this is a Castiel moment. I just saw the episode 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, you people have been talking all night about couples that have been through stuff. Like Dean and Cass have been through so much together, arguably easily more than any of these other couples. Like, it's crazy.
They have been saving the world for like 4 apocalypses now since season 4.
That's so true.
Yes. And so another one from Supernatural before the STL, I shipped Meg from season 5 to season 8 with Castiel. That moment in season 6 where it says, "Oh, where did you learn that?" I learned it from the Pizza Man. Oh, and then when Meg the sacrifices herself in season 8, says to Sam, "Protect my unicorn." Oh.
Yeah, those are all good picks. Speaking of discovering on Tumblr, for anyone who doesn't know, that's how me and Kimber met.
True story.
So it's good for shipping in real life and in fiction.
Oh.
Do I get points? Oh,
3.
Question 3. That was my that was my romantic gesture. What is your favorite romantic gesture?
Romantic gesture. This one is from How I Met Your Mother. I still remember when I saw season 1, like it was before season 6 aired, so I'm saying like already 8 years ago, because How I Met Your Mother ended like 3 years ago, right? And so like 8 years ago, I was starting watching How I Met Your Mother, and I still remember that episode when Ted goes to that wedding and then meets Victoria. And the following day, how he flashes back to all the things that he and Victoria did, and how Victoria, or I still remember that beautiful moment when she says, "Close your eyes," and then he never saw her again. I still remember crying a lot. Like I really like How I Met Your Mother, with 20 minutes of every episode, especially the first season. How it concentrates a lot of story and romantic gestures, and then how Ted finds her in the bakery is one of my favorites. And also, before the internet, I still remember like a few years back, before the show ended, the original writers like me, when watching the show and DVD, I was like, I wanted Ted and Victoria to be together. I wanted Victoria to be the mother.
Yeah. And it's like that relationship's so interesting because there's a whole lot going on, because that's when things are complicated with Robin and Ted, and she's the one who saw her shoes in the bathroom and knew who she was or whatever, and ended up having to decide whether or not she wanted to like give up Ted at that point for him to pursue this other girl. She was like having complex thoughts about Ted, and then for them to, like, spoiler alert, but eventually like Robin becomes the thing that splits up Victoria and Ted. So like there's a lot going on with the writing in that segment of the show, you know.
And also, like already you have said it, and a lot of people have said it also, another favorite couple is Marshall and Lily.
Yes,
they are perfect for each other. They're so awesome. All of the things they have gone through, they're really, really perfect. They have met for each other, and they maintain a relationship for 10 years before they got married, and they're still married until the end of the show. It's a very cool relationship.
Yeah, no, you know I love them. I love most of the couples, but I'm a Robin and Barney shipper. I don't like Ted and Robin together.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna go there, but you know, I like the ending. I know it's controversial, but I you know, I like the finale. Even though I can accept it, I didn't like it the first time I saw it, but for the first moment that I saw that moment at the end, I was like, I already knew this one's gonna happen. when you're seeing a lot of stuff throughout the whole show, you can. That's another thing that I hate from seeing a lot of movies and TV shows. You can't predict what is going to happen, and so for the writers to dare to do that kind of ending, a lot of people say it's controversial, but I was like, it was okay. It's not like, oh my god, I love it, but I always cry in the final scene when Ted does the same thing as the pilot.
Well, I am envious because I wish that I could enjoy that finale. I wish that I didn't feel so resentful towards the writers for the route that the show took. Obviously, like, I'm not gonna bash the show too much because you like it, and I don't want to be that type of person. But
You like it too.
I love.
Yeah, you liked it too, but it's understandable. You hate some episodes. It's like for me, I love Heroes, but I hate Reborn so much, and I hate parts of season 3 and 4. But I still love the show.
Oh, that we can agree on.
Well, thank God the Heroes were born. They fixed everything.
No.
Oh no, Heroes Reborn is not canon. It doesn't exist. Nothing. They should bury it with all of. They should bury Reborn with all those ET Atari sticks. I forgot in that thing in the big dump.
Ridiculous. Well, we got one more for you, Raul. What's the best wedding from a show or a movie?
From a movie, it's one of the first that I remember is the wedding from Father of a Bride with Steve Martin. I always remember all of those stuff that happened before the wedding, how Steve Martin lost a lot of money, and then he now sees his daughter. He now sees a grown woman, and then he's afraid that the guy's gonna harm her. And then that bit with the hot dogs when he grabs the bread and the hot dogs, and then at the end he's already calm and accepts that her daughter made a right choice. And then the whole wedding, the whole party, how they park the cars with the kids, and then at the end they just receive the call like, Mama, I'm already ready, and they go to the honeymoon, and Steve Martin and the kid, they're like, it's already over. Like the whole wedding, they're cleaning, and that's, for me, is one of the most weddings that I remember. Other weddings are from soap operas, so I need to tell like a lot of Mexican soap opera story to get to the wedding. So I cannot tell those in TV.
We'll take your word for it. That's cool. I like these answers that don't necessarily focus on the couple's reaction to the wedding. I think Nolan said Freaky Friday. And that was a cool mother-daughter relationship with the wedding, and that's a cool answer too. With Steve Martin being the dad.
The 5-year engagement too, like the way people react in that wedding is really beautiful. Again, I don't want to spoil that one too much because I feel like it's a hidden gem that not a lot of people watched. But man, like that was a punch in the gut. I loved that scene, like an emotional, happy punch in the gut.
Yeah, like also really quick example. One of my favorite Mexican soap operas is called The Lie. It's called La Mentira. It's a really simple premise. Is that a girl betray a guy between a lot of letters, and she said that she was pregnant and she mistreated the child. The child wasn't born, and so that guy shoots himself, and then his brother comes along and he wants to get revenge of that girl. But both girls have their name Victoria and Veronica, and so he marries Victoria instead of Veronica. She's the evil one. And then all of the guys she's harming, this girl is the actress is called Kate de Castillo. And then when Kate de Castillo noticed that she wasn't the wrong one, that she noticed the whole lie, that everything was because of the photo of her cousin, that it was Veronica. She goes to the wedding to stop her, and then she gets revenge in the party, and she says the whole truth. Even his uncle slaps the crap out of the villain that she is Veronica. So it's one of my favorite weddings. Everyone gets a turn to slap that evil woman.
Nice. That sounds pretty intense.
Oh, that's from the 90s.
Nice. Well, I think that was all of the questions.
That was all the questions. And Raul, all of your answers were correct. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you for sticking around. Sorry I didn't get to dedicate my win to you.
It's okay, Kimber. I also know that I'm gonna be back also soon. I don't know when Jack told me, but Jack already told me that I'm coming back. So if I win, it's gonna dedicate it to you also.
Well, you know I'm Team Raul all the way.
I'm also Team Kimber.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you so much. I will see you soon, and happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Bye. Adios. Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
We got Delisha up next, and then we're closing out the night with Mormo. Thank you, everyone who's still sticking around in the chat. This has been a really fun night.
Yeah, this has been a good turnout. I thought we were going to be running super late, but we're pretty much on schedule. Thank you, everyone who... I'm going to shout out people I've seen recently in the chat. Delisha, Corey, Janine, Mormo. Eric had to go, but hello again, Eric. I know Randall's probably watching. Thanks, everyone, for sticking around. I'm supposed to call somebody, right?
Yeah, Delisha.
This has been better with calling up people.
Yeah, it has.
All right, Delisha, we just sent you your invitation.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss Blab still.
Yeah, well, Blab will forever be in our hearts.
Blab and OSP are the couple that go together. Sorry.
I'm sure it still goes on YouTube anyway.
Yeah, right. Hey, Mavis.
So, other stuff to check out on our channel. We told you about OSP Show earlier. That's when we watch a movie. The next one we have planned is Tommy Knockers, Stephen King movie. We haven't had a date for that yet, so you'll hear about it whenever we do. We also have the Pokemon Fusion Let's Play with Randall Sands and our live episodes.
And I want to shout out the other shows on Tough Channel. Please check those out. You got Ashley and Joe, who were on here earlier. They're doing BFF, where they watch movies in reaction to the choices that people make on Fan Friction. Fan Friction is the show we've been talking about all night, where we debate movies in the style kind of Screen Junkies movie fights, but with a little bit different of a format nowadays. So be sure to check that out. We've both been featured on that show, as well as many of the people who have been guests tonight. We also got the DVD Bunker on Tough Channel, where Brian, the champ, checks out movies that he has in his collection, decides if they were a good investment. Am I missing anybody? No. Those are the main shows.
I mean, Jack is the guy who does Fan Fights. He's kind of our producer. Well, he is our producer.
Of course. And I know that a lot of the people are working on side stuff, too. There's going to be more from Ashley and Joe soon. Lots of crazy stuff going on Fan Friction with the guests this season. Keep an eye out for updates with that.
Anyone who has come on and has content, I have already linked in the script. Delisha, I did see your message. I just sent you another message. But, wow, my gosh, I had another thing I was going to talk about, but I forgot. Oh, we also have a blog. If you go to channel.wordpress.com, you'll see a bunch of articles written by us, by Delisha, by Morgan Robinson. He just did a Lego Batman one. I have one in my inbox from Delisha that I actually have to go through and put up soon. But we have a bunch of stuff on there. We have an introduction to a bunch of people who have been on the show. There's links to all the content creators. So even people you haven't seen tonight, you'll be able to see what other people came on. And there's an episode guide of all the stuff we do and everything we've been featured on if you like us. But it doesn't matter if you like us. It only matters if you like Delisha, and we do.
I was going to say, it doesn't matter if you like us. There's still a list. It's still on there.
There's other people.
Hey guys. Tired, but otherwise I'm fine.
Sorry to keep you up all night.
Yeah, we'll make this
It's okay.
quick.
It's okay.
Wind down.
I'd rather be up with you guys than with nobody. I don't know.
I ain't got nobody.
Okay, well, let's get straight into it. Do you have a favorite couple in pop culture?
I had a list, and then I don't know what happened to it. It disappeared somewhere into nothingness. Um, so I'm just gonna go fall back on my all-time favorite. I'm going back with Potter. So I'm going to pick Ron and Hermione. And I think, despite people might say, I'm gonna go with book Ron and Hermione, not movie Ron and Hermione, because they didn't really do that justice. I love that Hermione and Ron are kind of like the yin and yang to each other. Since Ron is like the goofball, he's the one who can like keep Hermione not being so serious all the time. Doesn't always have to be about work, and sometimes you need a little play in there as well to keep you sane. So they're definitely one of my all-time favorite I guess pop culture couples.
Nice, I dig it. Very cool. Did you have a favorite couple that never really ended up together that you thought would become a couple?
I don't know if it's a secret or not, but I have a really bad memory when it comes to movies and TV shows. So I kind of cheated, and I'm going to pick a couple that was together but didn't end up staying together that I wish would have, and that is Sean and Angela from Boy Meets World. As both people who've watched the show know, they've had a big on yeah, Tom. They had a big on and off again relationship, and then I didn't know how it actually turned out in the end because I don't watch the rebooted Girl Meets World. So I had to actually look that up to make sure my answer was valid. But they didn't stay together, and actually Sean is marrying someone else now. Yeah. But it is I did read a nice article that featured that it is teaching this generation that sometimes your first love isn't going to be the only love in your life. So I was like, okay, I still dig it, but I still wish they would have ended up together because I thought they were good, and they were one of the first few interracial couples that I saw on television.
I was about to say the same thing. That's the first interracial couple I can remember seeing as a kid.
So that was like pretty cool for me to see it as a kid growing up. I was like, oh, it can work sometimes.
There was one couple who I considered who could have almost was like a little of column A and a little column B with question 1 and 2. I considered talking about Simon and Alicia from Misfits. I don't know if you watch that show, but there's like a time travel element in that show. So they kind of were like, they were a couple, but we didn't get to see most of it because of the way the show was. So that's like the only couple I can think of that are almost like a question for, or an answer for both of those questions. And they're also a beautiful interracial couple, and they're both gorgeous, and I loved every bit of the storyline as well. Raul said yes in the chat.
Yeah, I have to check that one out. Is that an older show or is like a current show? You know, I don't know these things.
It's a British show from several years ago. It's really good. It's like the British version of Heroes, but it has a little more edge to it. In my opinion, you should check it out.
Okay, yeah, I'll try and see if I can find that.
Raul says that was his ship on.
Let's not forget though the first interracial kiss. William Shatner and oh my God. A horror. I can't remember the actress's name though.
I know what you mean though. I do know what you mean. I've never watched. That was from
I'm trying to make thumbnails and stuff. Trying to get like a little bit of everybody in a thumbnail, and it is really hard to find
like diverse couples in movies. We were having such a hard time.
Yeah, we have to wait for like these upcoming years for now because it's not much examples.
Yeah, it was glaring when we were looking for.
I guess I could have searched Tyler Perry, but
let's not.
Yeah. So did you have a favorite romantic gesture from TV or movies?
I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it was just me, but for some reason I couldn't think of anything while we're going through questions. But I did come up with one of my favorite ones as a kid. I don't remember because I haven't watched it in a long time, even though we're getting a remake coming out pretty soon. It's when Beast shows Belle the library because she likes books, and I was like, that is the most awesome thing that someone can ever do, especially for a book lover like me, is show me this awesome floor to ceiling library that I would love to recreate in my own home.
That's a really good choice.
That's a really good choice.
I think you're the first person to pick no, because Ashley did Futurama, right? Yep. 2 cartoon love just.
Well, and
yeah.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh. I was again thinking about Up.
Sorry.
I blocked it out.
Don't rewatch our Disney episode.
But yeah.
All right, Delisa, one more question before we let you get out of here for the night. Did you have a favorite wedding?
I did. It was Corey and Topanga's wedding. That was my first choice. And then I also thought of another one as I was listening to everyone else was Luke and Lorelai from Gilmore Girls. For
Nice.
the reboot for guys, for people who didn't see that, which I'm gonna be like Tom, you can go check out my article on Odd Shape Panel and go check that out. But even it was very whimsical and very so much Lorelai and Luke of just not doing things like what we think of traditionally by the book for as far as weddings. And I was like, it was just perfect for them to just typically just get married with no one else but Rory right next to them.
Nice.
And they're also, I guess they're also my favorite pop culture couple as well.
Very cool. And other shout outs of couples that come to mind. I don't know if you guys watched the OC, but I was all about Seth Cohen and his girlfriend on that show. They were a great couple, a beautiful couple as well. Man, there's too many good ones. I've been looking forward to talking about these forever.
I do. Well, speaking of Kurt, I do like Barry and Iris. I think they're really cute together.
I liked Barry with Felicity.
I did. When they were showing them, I was like, they're so great together. But Iris and Barry are also so cute. I was like, I don't know, what are you doing to my mind?
Yeah,
I also ship. I'm not a huge Supergirl fan, and that's only because of the writing. Otherwise, if it was just the character from the books, I'd probably love it. But when Barry and her had interactions together, although they were brief, they were both like they both nerded out, kind of the way he would nerd out with Felicity, and I really thought that was cute.
I liked Cisco with Hot Girl.
Yeah, Cisco needs I missed them two together. I didn't was like, no, don't put her on the other show. Leave them together because they deserve each other. Because they were great.
Yeah. I just want Cisco to be happy.
That's true. I'm really glad we got out of Mopey Cisco because that was not cool. I was like, nope. I need my movie reference guy just being there, being quirky, and just being all of us who were in the show.
All right, Delisha. Well, thank you so much for hanging out this long. We appreciate you, and
thank you.
We'll talk to you very soon.
Yeah, like tomorrow.
All right. Have a good night.
Night, guys. Same to you guys.
Thanks, Delisha. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Raul's saying if they kill Cisco, he's done with that show.
I'm really surprised they haven't made a thong song reference though at this point.
Oh, I'm glad they haven't.
One.
It is Mormo's turn. So Mormo, if you're around, I know he had sent you that invite. Let us know if you got it, and if you do, just hop right in.
That is true, Corey. Another Cisco could just hop in and take his place if they're all vibes everywhere. The original vibe in the comics could breakdance. Where's that? I think that's something we all need. Okay.
Summer and Seth. Yes, her name was Summer. Janine knows what I'm talking about with that OC action. Seth is a babe.
Always get OC.
Adam Brody, total babe. Still a babe.
Man of the hour. Hello, Mormo.
Hello. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
I'm doing great. I got sugar-free chocolates.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's get into this. Who is your favorite couple in pop culture?
Oh wow. I'm gonna go with at Gomez and Morticia Adams.
That's an awesome choice.
That is I don't know how we didn't think of that.
Speaking about perfect for each other, that's a great choice. What do you like about them?
It's just like constant innuendo, and they're like always all over each other, and talking about and what they're gonna do to each other later, and it's like imagining what they would do in the bedroom, you know.
Nice. Yeah, people are blowing up in the chat. They're saying that they particularly love the movie version of the couple.
Yeah. I really like their parenting style too, where they'll just let their kids almost get killed all the time. Probably why I'm not a parent. if that's not apparent.
Yeah, my
Fun.
second choice is Chucky and Bride of Chucky.
Nice.
Very
Oh,
cool.
man.
What is it about them that you're into?
They're literally made for each other.
Yeah, they're both like sadistic serial killers, and but they love each other. And
The Bride of Frankenstein undertone throughout Bride of Chucky was really cool. I don't know if you agree.
yeah, great power couple. And there's a new one coming out I'm excited about.
Oh, nice. I did not know that.
Well, a funny connection to this is the seed of Chucky was born of two genders and was named Glenn/Glenda,
Oh.
which is an Ed Wood reference, and also our first OSP session, which was a lost episode because
OSP show.
OSP show.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Session.
Yeah, but it was preserved on DVD, right?
I do have some copies on DVD.
Me too.
Maybe they'll make their ways into some people's homes on a giveaway or something. That'd be fun. But yeah, we got a bunch of them.
All right. So do you have a favorite pairing that you thought would become a couple, but they never really became a couple?
I'm sure somebody said this already, but Mulder and Scully from the X-Files.
No one said it.
that.
That's a good pick too. Man, Mormo.
You're on fire, Mormo.
Yeah, I thought everybody would say that.
Yeah, that's a great pick. They had so much tension on that show, and they're so different, but
They
did hook up, I believe, on the
because they
show,
had
but
a child,
but
right?
they didn't become a couple, really.
No, I think they never let themselves turn it off. You know what I mean? They're always investigating. And stuff.
Yeah.
My second choice is the teenage kids in Santa Clarita Diet, the new Netflix show with Drew Barrymore. I got 2 episodes left, so they might hook up, but I'm really hoping they hook up because
Tom's favorite character on that show, which I really loved. If you guys haven't seen Santa Clarita Diet, Mormo recommended it to me, and I checked it out, and it was great. But the teenage boy neighbor is Tom's favorite character. He loves him.
I don't like the word zombie. It sounds too negative. Like he's really he's weird and optimistic.
Yeah, like no spoilers. Don't tell me if they hook up or not, because I'm gonna finish that series out for sure.
No, yeah, but that was a really good show. I liked that recommendation, Mormo. Thank you.
It's a tie.
Let me see if I can get my Mavis over here.
Oh, 2 Mavises.
Yeah.
He
Here's my Mavis.
Look, Mavis, it's your namesake. Come here.
You got 2 Mavis.
Oh God!
What's the next question?
The next question is, did you have a favorite romantic gesture from TV and film?
From film, I'm thinking the movie The Fisher King, where Robin Williams plays like a schizophrenic homeless person. Have you guys seen that movie?
No,
but it sounds really good.
Yeah, I think Terry Gilliam directed it, and it's got Jeff Bridges. It's a really good movie, but he's like a homeless guy, and Jeff Bridges is trying to like give him help him out, and he's on a date, and he digs through the trash and makes a little statue out of the trash for his date. He's a schizophrenic bum in the movie. It's like a good movie.
It sounds like something I would do for our date.
Corey's showing some love for The Fisher King. We'll have to check that one out.
Nice.
Did you have a favorite one from TV as well?
A romantic gesture. Nope, nothing on TV.
Okay, no worries, man. We just have one more question for you, and that is, do you have a favorite wedding from a show or movie?
I'm gonna go with The Wedding from Pee-wee's Big Holiday, that Netflix movie, the new Pee-wee movie. Did you guys watch that?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
he goes he's it's a shotgun wedding to marry the farmer's daughter, and then he puts on a costume as a cowboy and then escapes the wedding. It's so funny, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
I always love Mormo's choices, man. Like you put some answers in there that definitely should have been mentioned tonight. I appreciate your choices there.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to have to get on top of the Screen Junkie show and start tuning into that, because I'm like your old Blab friend, but I should maybe get on board with like the new show, you know?
With the fan friction, yeah, I would love for you to check that out, man. We can direct you to those links if you want to see it for sure.
Yeah,
there's a link in the description of this video, I think, isn't there, Tom?
Yeah, there is.
There is, as well as a link to your 50 Shades Darker video. I know you just put up another one too, but
Tripe Taco, yeah.
But Mormo's always putting up content, and he always has a different point of view. So check it out.
Cool. Thanks so much, guys. Happy Valentine's Day. It's been awesome.
Well, we'll see you soon. Mormo's the coolest.
If you're wondering why my weird Pikachu Butterfree from the Pokemon Fusion game is named Mormo, it's because of that
It's
guy.
after Mormo, yeah. Did Jack want to hop in last minute here?
Yeah, Jack, you.
We'll get Jack in.
Yeah, we'll call him in. I guess that means his power's back up.
Oh, I hope so.
It's just him with a flashlight in the dark. You're like, Sam? Because that's what Sam does. You guys sit in the dark.
Nice. Corey's gonna check out Mormo's 50 Shades Darker review. Very cool.
It is in the description, as well as a bunch of other things.
Corey's getting all kinds of new content tonight. I love it.
Again, a thumbs up from Jack, or his Pit Boy icon. So he's working his way in here. He may not realize his mic and camera are off.
Oh, he's trying.
Yeah, I see him playing with the bits.
So, Jack, we can only see your logo. We can't hear you or see you.
And we see that you also use Google Effects. I will have to try that app out. Google Effects app no longer working after 2000. What? I only have a limited amount of time. Oh no, Jack.
Working on it.
How is he
I
doing
didn't
all
know
this cool
did
stuff?
all this.
Jack is a hacker. He's a jacker.
No.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. Let me rephrase that.
Phrasing.
He's a hacker named Jack.
Randall's still in here. We still have 6 views, and we are overtime, so we appreciate you guys. That's awesome that you're still hanging out. He's going to try to call back in.
Okay, so I'm going to exit out of this. Or, well, he's gone already, and we'll be hearing back from Jack Spadice soon.
You made it seem like Joe's talking about bestiality. You're calling Jack a jacker.
Look,
what is
Valentine's Day is a very passionate time of year.
It's the same thing. All we see is your logo, unfortunately.
At least this is happening now instead of fan fights.
Well, Randall says he's officially not going to be able to make it in tonight, but he has been here for most of the show. So thank you for watching, at least, Randall, and we will see you in a couple days when you guys are filming that.
Let's Play. Yeah, we're going to be filming Let's Plays this week.
It's Wednesday, and I film with Morgan on Wednesday.
Well, I think me and Randall have multiple days to film, so we're trying to catch on. Oh, there he is!
Oh, hey! I can see
we
you.
Can see you. Oh. He's working on it.
Making moves.
This is a mystery.
I mean, it's called shipping the night away. It wouldn't be the same.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yes, there we go.
All right. For some reason, my high def isn't working, but whatever. As long as it works for now.
You look just as well in low def.
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Tired. Long day. No power for a long time, but I am back.
I'm glad to see that it's back on.
From outer space.
Do you feel like one of the creatures from The Descent with the lights back on?
You know, I didn't. No, I feel like that. What's that movie that where the scary chick only shows up when the lights are out? It was just.
Oh.
It was just in the
I like
theaters.
the short that it's based off of, but it's like Lights Out or something. It's like one of those like.
Yeah, Lights Out, or I think it's Lights Out. Yeah, it's like one of those situations. So.
I was picturing you as the kid from Neverending Story watching the show, like with a blanket and the storm behind you.
That is my favorite movie as a kid, The Neverending Story. My favorite. And Lights Out. Yeah, they're saying it's Lights Out in the chat. So
there you go.
Yeah.
We're on top of it. We know pop culture.
We do, which is useful because the first question is about pop culture.
Yeah. What's your favorite couple in pop culture?
So I answered all these while I was watching Mormo because I couldn't. I was like, oh, I didn't prepare. I just kind of showed up. So I'm going to choose Jessica Jones and Luke Cage from Jessica Jones. It's sort of a non-traditional relationship. It's a very chaotic one. It's definitely one born out of need and raw sort of heat. When it comes down to it, they don't last necessarily that long, but when they're together, it's a very violently passionate relationship. So I think I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, it's a relationship that doesn't have endurance and does have endurance at the same time.
Oh yeah, right. They could go all night because of superpowers.
And breaking all the buildings down in Hell's Kitchen around them.
Yeah, exactly. And just to comment on Corey, because I see Corey Williams says, Neverending Story destroyed the book. It's important to know that I've read the book. It's by Michael End. I recommend Neverending Story to everyone. It's a fantastic book. The very first movie, the movie that we've all seen with Falcor and all that, that's only the first half of the actual book. So the second half, the second movie tries to cover like the other half of the book, but the movie itself is only half of the book. So it's worth reading that book just to see like what's supposed to happen after he names the Empress.
Is there a giant bird dude costume guy still in the book?
I don't remember. It has been a long time since I've read the book.
He's definitely the best part of part 2.
See, you know what? I've never seen all of part 2. I've only seen bits and pieces to know that it's part of it. But the original is my favorite. The original movie is way better, in my opinion.
Well, it looks like your knowledge of Neverending Story has earned you a Valentine in the chat.
Thank you, Corey.
All right. Well, our buddy Nolan asked, "Who is your favorite pair that never actually became a couple?"
I have a great one for this. I think Malcolm Reynolds and Inara from Firefly. If you've ever seen the series, the last episode that you actually get to see of the series that they filmed, Inara leaves the ship, and then in the movie, they sort of have that passion recur in the movie. But during the show, we never got to see them kind of be together, but you knew that they wanted to be. So.
Yeah,
we had Digital and Dice and Lady Crafts said the same thing. So it's definitely a
Nice.
popular answer for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah, I just rewatched all of Firefly like a couple weeks ago because it's the easiest rewatch, binge watch like out there. They're so good that you just fly right through Firefly. So that's my favorite.
I rewatched it too like a month ago. It is really quick.
I think a lot of people were expecting them to like finish that 2 in Serenity, but they never they touched on the tension, but
yeah, it's still it's a shame. God, I mean, if there's ever a thing that I wish we could fix, it's that Firefly was canceled at all because that show, man. And now we've lost Shepherd Book. Ronald Glass has passed away, so some ships may have sailed forever.
Well, this Jack ship, Lee, will sail to this next question.
I'm ready.
What is your favorite romantic gesture from TV or the movies?
So there's a great movie that's depressing as hell, but it's a great movie. It's called What Dreams May Come.
I knew he was going to say that.
It's my favorite Robin Williams.
Starring Robin Williams, and in that film he dies, and his wife is so grief-stricken that she commits suicide, And in the mythos of the film, committing suicide is the worst thing you can do because it sends you to a place in hell that you never escape. And Robin Williams, so the movie basically takes place in the afterlife, and Robin Williams goes into the afterlife to rescue his wife, whose soul is lost because of committing suicide. So he journeys all the way through hell to get her. So it's a beautiful, beautiful movie, visually stunning, depressing, but in a positive way, because the theme is really like at the end, like there's a payoff, positive payoff. It's not a negative payoff. So it's a really good movie.
If there is an afterlife, I want it to work exactly like the afterlife in that movie, where you can like choose to incarnate, or you can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful story too, and the way his kids are, the way the kids are presented in that tale as well, just tugs at your heartstrings.
Cuba
and visually gorgeous as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so stunning. I mean, the painting world where everything is made out of paint.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's and the tree. Like I remember her artwork with the big tree, and sometimes the tree was dark and sometimes it was really beautiful. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
And that's a movie where it's not like linear. Like they definitely have some but it's cut so masterfully. Like I wish a lot of these movies like just studied this movie just to see how to cut scenes together, because it is.
Oh yeah, they tell a really great story in that film. So I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen that movie out there, go check it out.
All right. Well, last question: what is the best wedding from a show or a movie?
So it took me a little bit to figure this out, but I'm going to pick a goofy one that probably no one picked. I'm going to choose the wedding from the movie Saving Silverman, which, if you've ever seen it, it's the one with the Jason Biggs from American Pie, Amanda Peet, that one guy who's in a bunch of things that I can't remember specifically. Jack Black's in it.
Vaughn and Jack Black.
Yes. So at the end, there's this wedding, and he's going to marry Amanda Peet. Biggs is going to marry Amanda Peet, but he doesn't really want to be with her. He wants to be with the nun girl. And then so she comes up and she starts singing the Neil Diamond. They have actual Neil Diamond. They've kidnapped Neil Diamond, and they start singing hello. So hello, my friends, hello. And then she starts singing it, and they sing it to each other, and they realize they love Neil Diamond. And so he leaves Amanda Peet at the altar for the nun. And then the other dude comes in, and he kidnapped Amanda Peet in that movie. And so they do this thing where they're fighting and they're beating each other. Like, I'm the crazy bitch, you need in your life. He's like, you're the psycho whore that, and they punch each other and everything, but then they start kissing too. And so at the very end, they all get married. And even Jack Black and R.L. Ermey get married in that movie too. So at the end, they have this big, huge triple wedding, and then they're all at a Neil Diamond concert for the credits.
Yeah,
so that's fine.
The coach is hilarious in that movie.
Oh, he's great in that movie. He's trying to coach him how to kidnap a girl, and they keep asking him why, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it."
He doesn't die in that movie. He always dies in like every.
He lives through the film. So it's a goofy pick, but I like that movie. So
nice. I appreciate that choice.
And that and the Red Wedding were the only weddings that would come to mind, and the Red Wedding is not a very romantic wedding, so we'll take this one.
Very cool.
I mean, it depends what side you're on in that, but
yeah. But guys, thanks for having me as a last-minute guest. Sorry to pop in so late.
Bye. Glad and hoping things are working out for you over there.
Yeah, we got the power back, so we're all good. It's really windy. We had a windstorm today, and it was like 25, 30-mile-an-hour winds. Took down a line down the street. So.
Yeah, that sucks. It was windy out here too, but not nearly that crazy.
So I'll leave and let you guys do your sign off. Thank you. Oh, can I plug?
Yes. Feel free.
Sure.
Is that okay? Fan Friction for the 5 people that are left, or 3, or however many it is. Fan Friction will be back in 2 weeks, guys. Check it out. We're going to take 3 more people from the fan fights on Screen Junkies are going to battle it out for a shot at redemption. It's going to be really cool. So check it out. That's in 2 weeks, and hope to see everyone there.
We have been plugging the show all night, so we should have a couple more people checking it out.
And check out Kimber kicking ass this past weekend. So it was pretty great. So thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. We'll see you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye. Bye-bye. All right.
All
Well,
right.
that's everybody. Everybody got in, right? We don't have any stragglers.
I think that's everyone.
Well, we only overshot it about 15 minutes, and we got everybody in, so that's great. Thank you so much, everyone who stuck by. If you want to shout out, now's your time to say hello in the chat and let us know you're still here. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that, and not just us. Any of the links in the description. You don't have to like all of them, but if you find one you do like it. I feel like in this, because I'm saying like every other 3 words now. In this era, like is such an overused word. What should we do about that? Can we make?
You're going off topic, babe.
Sorry. Corey, Raul, Jack, Delisha, thank you so much for sticking around, and we hope you have a great night. Please tweet us at OddShapePanel or
at Kimberbatch_OSP.
And you can check out any other of our like literal thoughts at WordPress at oddshapedpanel.wordpress.com. I'm really bad at this. Why don't you do these parts? Yeah, it is good late. But thank you so much. We hope you all have a great Valentine's Day. Tweet us if you want on Valentine's Day. We'll be sure to send you some love. And I don't know. Is there anything else? That's it. Look out for a new Pokemon Fusion probably tomorrow. And we'll have a new episode of X-Men out sometime this week. So, Janine, goodbye. Have a great night. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye for real this time.